to cross the line, and you will see that everything is gonna be alright again. Just breathe in and then exhale. Before you know it, you're up there in the sky. One of us, born to fly, and only one thing left to say, don't aim too high, unless you really want to try. You've got to fly away. To cross the line, and you will see that everything is gonna be alright again. Just breathe in and then exhale before you know it.
Hello and welcome to Red Bull Flugtag, happening right here at St. Paul in Minnesota. What up? My name is Maud Garrett. Thank you so much for joining us live here on Red Bull's Twitch channel. I am joined by Eric Perkins and also Ivy Miller here. So let's chat about what Flugtag is all about, because you're actually at the 2010 Flugtag here happening right in Minnesota.
Yeah, because this is my hood, after all, Maud. Not specifically St. Paul, but you have the Twin Cities, right? It's Minneapolis and St. Paul.
You're the local hero here.
No, today we were just so stoked. I'm stoked to be here. I'm excited to see this event again. In 2010, as you mentioned, here at Harriet Island in St. Paul, it was such a huge hit. And when the announcement came down 6 months ago that Flugtag would be returning to St. Paul, folks were really, really amped up about it. And for good reason. It is such a spectacle.
It's going to be so great. And Ivy Miller, you are going to be capturing all the action of those crafts launching off the platoon there.
That's right, you guys. I'm going to be getting down dirty, asking them what's their inspiration, where the creativity came from. all sorts of things. You want to know it? I'm going to go and find out.
This is going to be exciting. Ivy and I did Party Wave. If you want to check that out, that is on Red Bull TV. So we're back in the action again. It's a completely different ball game here because it's all about the flight. If you do want to know a little bit more about what Flugtag is, we've got Uncle E and Tina, who's actually going to tell us all about the event. Take it over to you guys.
Thank you very much, Maude. And when it comes to what is going to go down here, and literally everything's going to go down, there are some judges here, and they're looking for 3 distinct things: creativity, showmanship, and distance. Break that down for us, Tina.
Okay, first of all, we have creativity. What does that mean? Well, it's the creative concept that have gone into the crafts, what they've done, their costumes. We have a couple Napoleon Dynamites out there. They don't have a llama. I told them I would be their honorary llama.
Beautiful
since my
llama.
name
You
is
make a good
Tina.
llama.
There's a raccoon. There are all sorts of different costumes. So that is their creativity, and then their showmanship. They get up here and they do a little skit. And then it's all about distance, Uncle E.
Yeah, how far can you send it? How far? In 2010, the world record was broken with 207 feet. Now it's 258. Will we break a new record here? We're just going to have to find out.
Thank you so much, guys. I'm so excited to see if a new world record does happen today. But let's talk about the conditions here, Eric, because at the moment, the weather's looking really great and the water temperature's like, woo.
And the weather isn't always looking great here in Minnesota. It is sometimes like a month ago, 90 degrees. Probably in another month from now, it'll be 90 below. Maybe not that bad, but it definitely varies here. And today it's actually really pleasant. We got temps in the 60s, overcast skies, but merciful. And the water temperature, I'm told, is actually warmer than the air temperature, so they'll be just fine when they plunge into the Mississippi River, which is where we're at.
That was a genuine concern for me because I'm just like, oh, they're going to go in there, it's going to be so cold, but it's not the case at all. It's going to be really lovely for them to do that.
They'll be cold when they get out of the water because there's that slight breeze and whatnot. But yeah, there's so much heat here, it won't matter. The folks are fired up.
I'm excited for that one. Ivy, you've actually been chatting with some of the teams already and you've seen some of these crafts. What are some of the things that we can expect today?
I'll tell you, I've seen, honestly, very passionate Minnesotans.
Yeah.
It's inspiring.
Is that
They're,
the correct term, Minnesotan?
is that?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Okay, yeah. But no, they're so passionate. Their crafts are like, they've been working hard on them. And everything they do is like, they've got just such an immediate, strong answer for every question I was asking. I was like, yes!
Yeah, they're
So,
committed.
I'm excited to see the performances and the skits. It's going to be great.
Well, this is my first time out of Flugtag, and it's so exciting to see that I think we're going to have about 100,000 people right here at, is it St. Harriet's Park? Harriet's Park?
Harriet Island here
Harriet
on,
Island.
on the banks of the great
We're on an
Mississippi
island.
River. The Mississippi River actually starts in Minnesota. I didn't know if you knew that.
I only just found out yesterday, and I'm still excited
There
about
it
that.
is.
That's so cool.
It's Lake Itasca on the very northern edge of the state, and then it all flows down all the way to the Gulf of Mexico. But we're here in St. Paul at Harriet Island, where it's all about to go down.
This is like a festival taking place here with food stands. There's like gaming little centers that everyone can just have the best time ever. 100,000 people is around the same amount of people that were there back in 2010. Are you getting the same vibes here, or does it look like it's going to be bigger and better?
For the last hour and a half, it has been a constant flow of folks coming into just to see this spectacle. And whether or not it's a crash and burn situation or whether or not it's another world record like happened here back in 2010, we'll have to wait and see.
That right there is the first team that is about to jump off the flight deck. I'm excited to see how this one's going to go down. I like that they're using Lycra suits because I have a feeling like obviously the aerodynamic part of it, they need to be as streamlined as possible. Heaven forbid it stops them from, going as far as they could possibly go. Also want to shout out to all the men who think that, who have the confidence to wear full-blown Lycra bodysuits as well. Did you have a chat with this team? Because I know that the first team that we had was a La Toile du Nord.
Yes.
They're going to go up there right now.
Yes, I talked to them, and it's actually a community that built their craft.
What is that head all about? What is that?
Oh, that. Oh.
Well, the skit is starting right now.
Oh, yeah.
Is that a swordfish?
Maud, it is a loon. It's actually the head of a loon. And in case you're wondering, the loon is our state bird here in Minnesota with that iconic red eye. They're out on all the 10,000 lakes, as we like to say. These are some great moves. I'm seeing
I can teach you all about those moves because they're actually Twitch and Fortnite, which is a video game moves happening there. Ivy, while this is happening, I want you to get all the action. We're going to love you and leave you and get you up there to interview them before and after.
All right, sounds good.
We'll
Thanks
see you
for
in a
having
bit,
me, guys.
yeah?
See you in a bit.
Alrighty. I'm so glad we've got you here, Eric, for the loon talk. Because
Well,
I learn something every single day when you speak.
I thought you meant because I'm full of lunacy or whatever, but no.
I would never.
The loon is actually I was playing on words, loon, lunacy. You said you were into puns. Come on.
I've only got Claire de Lune.
Here we go.
Oh, wow. So all the former team members and pilot are ready in action. Only a pilot can be on the craft. Ooh, a bit of a spill. I think they were hoping for a little bit more of a launch through there.
That's a pretty good first one out of the gates, I would say. They seem to be really pleased with it.
He gave the rock on. That's indicative of exceeding expectations.
Look at those crowds, Maud. Yeah, and that craft was called Le Toit du Nord, which is the bird of the north, which, as I mentioned, is the loon, which is also the name of our local soccer team here in town, our MLS team, the Loons, who play
Eric,
at...
I thought birds are supposed to fly, though.
Well, they can fly, can't they?
Well, I don't.
No, that one can't really.
Already it is happening. Hey, if you are watching us on Twitch here, all the comments coming in at the moment. I want to give a shout out to Wilbur the Piggies, who just went off.
There's our judges' scores. It
That's
looks
not
like
so
a bunch
bad.
of sevens, a bunch of sixes. That team was excited to be the leadoff squad. Normally, that could be like a bunch of nerves. Oh my gosh, we have to go first. How apprehensive are we going to be?
Sure.
But they were fired up about it.
You know what? They are the first team of the day, so let's learn a little bit more about this particular team.
We are La Toile du Nord. Allison told us what we should be doing,
I'm an aerospace engineer.
and then we've kind of just been trying to figure out how to actually do that.
Our wing is built out of wood because that's cheap and relatively light, and foam because that's very light. And the foam doesn't need to be structurally sound because it just needs to give us our airfoil shape. We only need extra, structure in our aircraft where there's going to be points of stress. For instance, right here where our hang bar is going to be attached. We have an aircraft that we designed for low speeds, but we're also in the background working on the skit. I'm paper macheing a loon head that's almost as big as myself, so I'm really excited to unveil that during Flugtag.
I'm gonna have the loon head, I think, on my head, and running around with this loon head.
The loon is the Minnesota state bird, so we thought it would be fun to play up the loon and just see where that idea could take us.
Because the loon's a black flying bird. It's gonna be a black shrink wrap. I think it's gonna be sweet.
Oh, this will be good.
Do you think that you'd want 2 layers, though?
I don't know.
This is the first time I've ever
did,
seen it.
and Create Now Makerspace did. So it's a community workshop in Lexington, Kentucky. Had a lot of people chipping in, helping us out.
All right, well, the thing looks good. We're getting word that the water is clear for takeoff. So
Should we
good
put
luck.
another layer over it before we...
boy.
Or
These
do you
guys
want
also
to shrink
competed
wrap
in Red
one
Bull
and then
Soapbox, Cincinnati a
layer
few
in
years
between?
back. Music's gonna get going. You'll see
I
a
think we all
skit. This
kind
is
of
gonna
got
be
together
fun.
and we're this is maybe a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that you get to build a hang glider and push your brother-in-law off a 60-foot pier.
Your favorite brother-in-law.
Favorite brother-in-law.
I don't think I'm nervous now. I think we're gonna get past 20 feet of that platform where I'm like, oh wait. I really, as a pilot, want to be able to control something on the aircraft. I don't just want to be along for the ride. So I was an Air Force A-10 pilot, single-seat fighter, big wings like this. I haven't flown in 4 years, and I've always wanted to kind of jump back into flying. This is about as crazy as you get to do it in a short spurt. We are really trying to go as far as we can, as most Flugtag teams are. So we're trying to find that balance between a creative, fun, exciting things that somebody hasn't ever seen before, and then when we go off the edge, people don't expect that we actually get to fly pretty far.
Let's fly to the north!
That was the first team that we just saw a little bit more about there, which is super cool. We actually have the second team that's about to step up and have a go, Infinity Wing. Let's chat a little bit about them.
Well, they were the team that placed second at the Flugtag back in 2016, Maud, and they're obviously that's a really good spot. Here's their flight, of course.
I'm noticing the same effect happening. They kind of get a little bit of trajectory and then something kind of snaps them back where they lean a little bit back and it just stops that kind of like soaring effect.
I would imagine when you're plummeting from the launch pad like that, there's a bit of fear and trepidation that kicks in, and then all of a sudden your body gets all wackadoodle because you're also looking for an exit strategy when you're going down like that. They said that they took that about 3 weeks to build that craft, Infinity Wing, which is
That's not so bad.
Well, that's one of the longest times out here that I heard. I mean,
Oh, really?
Yeah,
No,
well,
I've heard 8 weekends.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, all right,
A
all
lot of
right.
effort. My favorite part's the whole team just went, yep, we're going in.
And as you can see, the rescue crews and cleanup crews are on point. They are so first rate out here.
Yeah, making sure that they take all the debris with them. The judges not ranking it as high as the first team that we saw with Le Tour du Nord. Am I closer every time I say that? yet?
You're getting there.
I
think
mean, I put a bit of a French accent on it, hoping.
do it one more
hoping.
time for me, would you?
Le Tour du
Oh, see, now you bailed out.
I got in my head about it.
You
that
bailed
time.
out kind of like the pilot on their flight.
I know, I made it halfway and went, and then I fell on my butt. You see the next team coming up there one. I had a chat with these guys, Paul's Pontoon. Now, this is a local story behind it. They were teaching me all about like the lore of Minnesota with the blue ox. Do you know a little bit about that?
I do,
The
yeah.
giant statue of this lumberjack-looking man who...
There's statues all over the country of Paul Bunyan. He is a fictional character, or is he? I don't know. He's a giant lumberjack.
There he is.
Yes,
Look at
there
him
he
with
is.
that beard.
Yes, he is that big too in real life. At least that's what the Google Earth used to say on when I looked up photos of him from back in 1900. Google was around back then, weren't they? No, it wasn't. But he's like a folklore. So he's like a Minnesota lumberjack, because Minnesota, especially up north, was a huge lumber town. There was a lot of lumber industry going on, and so that's kind of the genesis of that. The Blue Ox,
Yeah.
who is I think actually the person flying this craft. That is Babe the Blue Ox. That's kind of Paul Bunyan's, like, it's sort of like his Robin to Batman, sort of.
Fantastic. Ivy's actually up there with the team right now to have a chat with them about their craft. Ivy, over to you.
$1,000 tap.
Hey guys, I'm here with Paul's Pontoon, a beautiful craft behind me, although I'm not sure it's gonna fly that well. What's special about this beautiful creation we've got here?
We've got a pontoon with Paul Bunyan on it, and there's nothing more Minnesota than Paul Bunyan and living on the lake in the summer. We're doing both those right now. We're not quite sure if it's going to float, if it's going to fly. It'll do one of the two. It's going to be a great time.
Awesome, I'm excited to see it. And how do you guys all know each other?
We've got 3 siblings here, myself being one and 2 other, my sisters, and 2 of my best friends right here, pushing me off and hoping we have a very successful go at this.
Nice, very Minnesota of you guys.
Exactly.
Is there a special technique you guys are gonna use to push?
A lot of hope and a lot of willpower and that Minnesota spirit.
I love it, awesome. Well, good luck out there, you guys. I can't wait to watch.
This is it.
Look at that. We are happening right now. I was talking to the team beforehand, and they were saying that the ox right there, the blue ox, this is all out of pocket for him. He put his hard-earned cash into this particular pontoon. So he said it was going to be a little bit bittersweet when it does launch into the water. For those asking in the Twitch chat right there, we actually do have a cleanup crew on site. Whoa, what an explosive entrance into the water there.
I think maybe his horns were the wings, and he was the actual craft all along. My goodness.
They say that Red Bull gives you wings, but that's ridiculous. He got propelled into the water there.
That is now a lot of wet flannel plummeting into the Mississippi River.
A reminder, though, for the rules, it is about the craft, so where the pilot sits on the craft, when it enters the water, that is the measurement that they have. So the fact that the ox was propelled and got more distance doesn't actually count towards their score. Oh, look at him there. I've never seen an ox getting pulled into the water like that.
That was,
Whoa,
I think that had to have been his intent the entire time.
I'm actually terrified of heights, and he really just dropped a lot.
I get nervous on the 3rd floor of the Mall of America here in Minnesota. Let's see what the judges have to say on this one.
Oh, they're actually loving what they saw. Or are they? What mixed results there with a 7, 8, 4, 7, and a 6. Do you want to have a little chat about the judges and who we've got up there?
Yeah, absolutely. So on the far left there with the Red Bull hat, that's a Red Bull athlete, and that's Elk River, Minnesota native
this is all
Andrew
about.
Carlson,
And it just
who
kinda
was named to
died
Red Bull's
quickly.
elite team of athletes back in this year, actually. He's an off-road racer, if you want to know, and he reps number 15. That's his ride number on his Pro 2 and Pro 4. Alexa Score is the blonde lady behind him. She is a TV personality here in town, but a former professional wakeboarder and cancer survivor. She's an amazing person, and she's out here as well. We're thankful that she's part of the judges team. Meat Sauce is the big guy in the middle with the sunglasses and the pink hoodie, and he's a local radio personality. For
He had
this.
an issue with that last flight, though. Everyone else thinking he was quite good, and him dropping down that 4. I wonder
4.
what's,
He's going to be the wild card when it comes to the judging today, I believe. The other 2 judges we should mention are Jenny Lutenberger. I just know her as Weather Girl Jenny on local radio station KDWB. She's on the Dave Ryan in the Morning Show there. And then finally, David Morgan of the Minnesota Vikings, a tight end for the Minnesota Vikings. And they play tomorrow, their first regular season game, so we're all excited about that. But David Morgan's on the PUP list. Do you know what the PUP list means?
No, I have no idea.
He's on the physically unable to perform list.
See, I'm all about the other pups, the ones that are so cute when they're young and then they grow up to be doggos.
Of course you are. but he's here and is able to perform judging today.
Lovely to have that there. The Twitch chat at the moment, I tell you what, they're not liking Meat Sauce's sense of humor in that round. They're going, what's his deal?
Well, he can be a curmudgeon. Is what we call
Word
that.
of the day.
Yeah.
We actually have our next team up there, the Superbird. These guys are a group from Wisconsin who hope to please the crowd with some 70s music in their 1969 Dodge Charger craft.
Yeah, and so this was inspired by the movie Joe Dirt. Of course.
Is that why they all have rockin' mullets right there?
Exactly. They're a little bit southern. They're a little bit party in the back. Absolutely. And Joe Dirt, of course, drove a 1969 Charger. And so that's the theme of their craft as well.
Fantastic.
David Spade would be proud.
Do you know what the Australian word for white trash is? We call them bogans. And it's actually a badge of honor for a lot of people.
Okay, a bogan.
Yeah.
All right.
So if you have a mullet, you are instantly in the bogan club.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, there they are. The sketch is starting. The engines are revving there. This is the Superbird. What is he sitting on, do you think?
I don't know, but I appreciate the bandana over the helmet, which is kind of a next level move.
That's a lot of ripped denim as well happening there.
Some of it. Oh yeah, is that curling? Were they curling?
They look like that. Oh no, it's a fake out. It's a guitar.
Yeah, now they're just rocking out with mops.
They had to prepare this. He lost his mullet.
He's
no longer a bogan.
I'm not seeing the tightest choreography. Of course, I'm not a judge. We'll see how they fly, Maud.
When was the last time you did a skit, Eric?
Well, good point.
So I like the fact that they literally have a hang glider on here. With the Flugtag, they have to make all of their device, so they can't actually purchase anything. It has to be made. So it kind of is a little bit more spectacular if it's able to go on a flight there. Our pilot looking a little bit nervous.
What a flight.
But I tell you what, that's probably the cleanest landing we've seen so far.
That was solid.
Joe Dirt didn't get dirty.
And she's more than okay. It was she was hanging on for dear life.
Rock and horns happening there
My
again.
goodness.
Oh, false rule actually helping us out in the Twitch chat there. Joe Dirt is a janitor, so it was actually homage to Joe Dirt with cleaning the pontoon.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thanks for clearing that up.
Super
That's why we
important
love the Twitch stream.
Wilbur the Piggies again said, just went plop. She just went plop.
I just know we got a bunch of soaking bogans right now, Mom.
Was that fun to say? Did you ever think that sentence would come
No,
out?
I actually prefer it to redneck.
We do have polls happening in the Twitch broadcast if you are watching us on twitch.tv/Red Bull. We want to shout out to all our new followers as well. There's, I think, 172,000 and climbing. So let's get that number up. We're giving it all to you, all the action, all throughout the day right here with Red Bull. We've got the next craft lining up. That one looks really legit. That's the kind of person that won the art fair, you know?
Yeah, there really is some remarkable craftsmanship. You can tell so much creativity and time was put into these entries, and really there was quite a vetting process too. I mean, this is the cream of the crop from all the ones that got submitted, all the ideas, and look at those scores, Maud. Just a great score.
Are they peaking too soon though? Because they're only judging from what they've already seen. So what happens when they get even better than that?
And well, exactly. And the other thing is the distance is a huge portion of the judging as well.
But not the only thing that matters. The skit does matter. The creativity does matter. Obviously, like how they've built their craft is really important. You were mentioning before there is a vetting process. 800 people, teams, submitted their ideas and only 38 made it. So already they're winners. The next craft coming up, though, one of my personal favorites.
Okay.
I love dinosaurs. I love pretending to be a dinosaur. And this one is a giant T-Rex with a flag that says positive thinking.
But so that's the one that's on deck.
They are the Metaphorosaurus.
And then actually on the launch pad right now
that's actually one that's lining up, my bad.
No, it's okay. It's hard. There's so many of them
There's
here.
a dinosaur in front of me. I got excited.
I know you did. Duck, duck, gray duck, or duck, duck, goose. This is a huge controversy. Here in Minnesota, we say duck, duck, gray duck. It's just the way it is.
What? Duck, duck, goose?
Well, that's what most of the free
I feel like
world
you're outing
says.
the gray duck. What did the gray duck do apart from being gray?
I'm just saying, if you want to tick off Minnesotans, which you don't want to do because you're here now,
Yeah.
you want to say duck, duck, gray duck versus duck, duck, goose. And now talking on the platform, my goodness, that's Chad Greenway. So to give you a clue on who he is, Maude, Chad Greenway was a Minnesota Viking linebacker for many years and retired a Viking a couple years ago, and now he's launched this line of vodka, and that's sort of the inspiration behind the craft.
I feel like if you do want to get, if you want to push a product, you have to get dressed up and you have to build a craft and you have to jump into the Mississippi.
Yeah, and Chad Greenway, he was a great player. He's not actually part of the team, but he's sort of the honorary member up there. He's not going to be the one flying, the pilot.
No, he's a linebacker. He's going to be pushing the craft.
Exactly.
If he was the pilot, they've done it all wrong. But it is about sort of how the craft looks, whether they're going to get a lot of distance there.
I've been impressed so far, frankly, by these flights that we've had. And, of course, Flugtag means flying day, and we're going to see another one here. Here comes the Skol chant. This is the big chant that they do at Minnesota Vikings home games at U.S. Bank Stadium.
That is why the audience is joining in like that.
Yeah, and they're gonna love this because this is so regionally specific, and everybody loves the purple here.
Thank you for giving us the intel on all of that, because I had absolutely no idea. But right now, if you don't know what's happening, you are watching Red Bull Flugtag. This is happening right here in St. Paul in Minnesota. Basically, the community gets together, they submit ideas, and the best of the best get to build their craft, and they run off this giant barge, and they try to see how far they can fly. They are not professional athletes, usually. This is a thing where it's like, it doesn't really matter if you win or lose, because everyone here today, they are the heroes happening. The pilot launching, he got squashed by a duck.
Not bad.
Did they foresee that? If the duck's on top,
There it is.
Literally got
That's when you yell duck, it has double meaning here. Outstanding. I guarantee you this will get some good scores, Maude, just because of how much of a beloved sports figure Chad Greenway was and still is here in this state.
That's got to be a loophole.
It's gonna. You watch.
Okay.
Those judges will throw up some good numbers here.
That's quite smart.
There it
The
is.
ingenuity behind that one.
It's
Happy
just
with that flight.
Just knowing you've landed safely, everybody's okay. The craft did what it was supposed to do. It's a victory. You can see it in their faces when they're being towed to safety.
And we do have a cleanup crew on site that will take care of all the debris going into the water. A big shout out to Red Bull, who's in the chat also for our Red Bull Twitch stream, saying ducks fly together. You know what? The early 90s called and they're screaming at you with adoration for that one, because quack, quack, quack. Did you watch the Mighty Ducks?
There's some good ones, of course. Mighty Ducks is an iconic film based here. It was filmed here.
What?
Mighty Ducks was filmed here. No, I'm dead serious.
This place just keeps getting better and better every single time.
All three. Were there 3 Mighty Ducks? I think there were 3 Mighty Ducks.
D3, absolutely.
Okay.
We're checking out the highlights of what we've seen so far for the 2019 Red Bull Flugtag. Hasn't been going so badly. Some teams going a little bit better than others.
There's the team from Kentucky.
Boom. Hitting that water with grace. Super happy with it.
And this, I think, was the highest score so far, the Superbird out of Wisconsin.
They are the current leaders happening there, because you can see with the hang glider effect, they just got a little bit more edge on them.
Yeah, and as we saw, the Duck, Duck, Gray Duck, or Duck, Duck, Goose team, not a 4. They didn't get one of those 4s that I saw earlier.
Meat Sauce, one of our judges there. It's time to have a little quick break while we can reset, to see who else is going to come out there and continue the fun of the Flugtag. We'll be back. are back. Hi there. You are watching Red Bull's Flugtag happening right here in St. Paul, Minnesota. My name is Maud Garrett. I'm joined by Eric Perkins, local legend here. So exciting. You actually were at the 2010 Flugtag. We're back again in 9 years later.
Yeah, and this is such a fun event, and I'm so glad that they brought it back here. And back in March, they skydived the mayor of St. Paul, Mayor Carter, and Red Bull athlete Levi LaValle, and that was sort of like the announcement that they were going to be rolling it out again here in 2019 on the Mississippi River here. We're on Harriet Island in St. Paul, and we're getting ready for yet another entry. And this is your dinosaur one that you were
Big
rooting
time.
for.
This is Metamorphosaurus,
Yeah.
our 6th craft for today. And Ivy's she caught up with the team to have a chat about what we can expect from them. Hi, Ivy.
The Russia, are you with the Superbird team down below, Jason? Team that is kind of our leader in the clubhouse for distance right now.
I mean, that's Ivy. She's with the wrong team right there. But this is live if you are watching us. What's up? You are watching us exclusively on Twitch. A big shout out to all our new followers. Twitch.tv/Red Bull. There's a lot of action happening. There's a lot of crafts, 38 in total. We are going to see Metamorphosaurus launch very, very soon. I actually had a chat with the team. This was the team that spent 8 weekends building this, and
My
it was one of
goodness.
the guys. He's an engineer, and it's his little baby, and he got a team involved. We're going to check back with Ivy. Now she's with Metamorphosaurus to have a chat with them.
Hey guys, I'm here with Metaphorsaurus with Rob Roberts III. I'm really excited to watch this one go off because what's kind of the flying approach here?
Positive thinking, not worrying. It's just a bunch of cowboys who are going to fly a dinosaur into the water.
I love it, but not cowboy in this sense, more of a dinosaur boy?
It's a Metaphorosaurus. There's a metaphor. I can't think of what it is, but we're going to do great today because of positive thinking and not worrying.
Positive thinking and not worrying, crucial aspects. What can we expect from your guys' skit today?
Getting on quickly and then taking the full 30 seconds to do that.
Awesome. Well, I'm really excited to watch you guys. Good luck out there, and I hope you make it far.
We are back. That's exciting. I wonder how they're going to go. Their skit is starting right now. I don't know if you know this, but for a living, I actually do. Oh, that crashed. That went down hard. They're happy. Oh, they're thrilled. I actually did talk to him. I said, how are you going to feel spending that much time and energy and money onto a craft, just knowing in seconds that it's all going to come apart? And he's like, it's going to be bittersweet.
Well, yeah, it is,
It's gonna
because,
suck a little.
I mean, the one guy that helped with it is a theater artist, and so a lot of detail was put into the actual artwork of this craft, and now look at it. It's just a floating, shambled mess here in the Mississippi River.
We can confirm that the head has been removed from the body.
Very good.
Whoa, there it goes. Bye.
You know, that's why dinosaurs are extinct, Maud, right there. And here's the other deal, is that, like, they say be positive and don't worry.
I love that.
I love that too. I think that's a fantastic attitude. These folks that compete in this event really are the heroes.
The Posse Squad.
Oh, seriously. Oh, the scores are coming in right now.
Whoa! Oh, that's not great. Oh, that is a 1, and he is wincing showing that one. It's like he doesn't want to give them the lowest score. You would think, though, like I feel out of all the crafts, that one is the one that has had the most sort of effort put into it, just for looks-wise, not necessarily for purpose, but because it's a dang dinosaur.
And again, showmanship comes into play. Obviously, the creativity was there with that one, but you got to bring it. And obviously, if Carlson's scoring at a 1, that's a pretty harsh number right there.
Oh no, Sasha91 in the chat for Twitch saying F for Dino Head, saying that's what failed. And then Emma and also Red Jello 14 really understanding my love for dinosaurs, and they want to hear my T-Rex roar, which.
That's not happening, or is it?
I mean, the mic's going to blow, and
Okay.
I apologize to all headset users. But at the end of Jurassic Park,
Of course.
where the T-Rex is there and the
Oh.
banner's coming down, and it goes.
We got her
Little
to do
arms.
it. We got her to do it. All right.
I wish I was able to like sit on the back of that craft as it was going just to provide the noise.
This is so fun, and again, these teams are like lined up in a queue here to go out onto the platform in the launch
We've got
pad.
the best seats in the house.
It's tremendous, and up next is going to be Bird is the Word. This is a local team here in Minnesota. I asked them what kind of bird it was. They said it's a roadrunner, of course.
Oh, of course, it goes the fastest. Meep, meep. And, of course, a big shout-out to pop culture reference, the bird is the word. If you watch Family Guy at all, you know that gets stuck in your head big time.
I always thought grease was the word, but apparently bird is the word also.
Oh, well, a bird. The bird is the word. Is that the bird?
Okay. Oh, we got to stop that right now.
Probably. Whoops. Thank you, Mega Mike TV, for saying Maud is the best. I don't think that was the case at all when I did my T-Rex noise. You should see my Velociraptor.
Well, here's the thing. Like, remember the old Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner stuff that used to be on the cartoons?
Oh, yeah, they're so dead. I don't understand that.
Well, Wiley always used to fall off the cliff, and then it was this little cloud of smoke. But today it's the Roadrunner, so maybe it's maybe we'll see the Roadrunner finally fall into a little cloud of smoke.
I
Here we
just
go.
saw a guy run into a fence. That was the highlight of my day. There it is. There's the song. We called it. Go Roadrunner.
Yeah, this is happening, and it obviously a fervent energy from this team. You're seeing the joy, the excitement, the unbridled enthusiasm.
Well, wouldn't you if you were riding a Roadrunner?
Perhaps, yes. Can't say I ever have.
That's why he's so stoked, because he's doing it. It's a bucket list tick for sure.
I'm with you, Maud. I'm with you all the way right now.
Meep, meep. Come on. Let's get the speed.
Some really good speed, actually.
The crowd holding up tens already in anticipation. No, I believe that was head over heels right there.
There's that little cloud of poof. Not happening today for Bird is the Word.
Well, they dropped it like it was hot.
There you go.
So it just went straight down. Did it actually gain any?
No.
No.
And I think you're going to see this reflected in the judges' scores. Still, the joy is there, though. They've done it.
Oh, big smile. Is that a booger? That's not a good day to have it. No.
Look, I mean, just the full launch.
It does.
I mean,
It goes
that was a
flies.
standing jump and just tremendous balance right here because there was an initial dip that could have thrown him for a loop. He hung on, though. That was impressive.
Thick Biscuit in the Twitch chat there saying, oh, he's stinky. No, that's not nice. But they tried. They absolutely tried. The fact that the pilot, though, flew faster and further than the board, a 7.
That's a pretty wild disparity there, but a 7 and a 3. They're obviously seeing something different there. That's Weather Girl Jenny who gave him the 7, so that's generous to say the least.
Wowee, 2 3s for that one, though. I'm thinking the same thing. Ivy, though, she caught up with the next team after Bird is the Word. We're going to be chatting with Steel Diamond right now. Or now.
Hey, I'm here with Steel Diamond. Like Neil Diamond?
Kind of like Neil Diamond. We kind of after we named ourselves, we realized how boring Neil Diamond is, so we had to spice it up a little bit. So.
That's okay. This looks like you guys have done it before. Am I right or am I wrong?
No, we have no idea what we're doing. A lot of Google, a lot of just good old-fashioned building techniques. We build stuff, and this one turned out pretty good. We're hoping to go somewhere.
I mean, I think it looks great. What is it made out of?
Plywood, foam, glue, but mostly sweat and tears, and there's also some blood in there.
I love it. I'm excited to see you guys out there. Do you have any special skit for us today?
We're gonna do a little. We're gonna do the greatest song ever written, "Sweet Caroline."
Incredible. I can't wait to watch. I can't wait to watch. Good luck out there, you guys. We'll see you out there.
That right there was Ivy Miller. She's our girl on the ground. If you don't know Ivy Miller, she is an athlete, she's a comedian, and she's got her very own series right here on youtube.com/Red Bull TV, Red Bull Sports, basically. She's got a fun comedy show where she travels the world, goes surfing, and she plays many different characters. She's a hoot.
That's a pretty good gig. You can follow her on Instagram, too, IVUSS.
Ibis.
I know that because I started following her today. There you go.
We're all friends now.
Here we go, Sweet Caroline.
So this is the skit happening here. I didn't realize that was like the baseball theme. This song.
The Boston Red Sox play this at every home game at Fenway Park, Maud.
I'd never heard this song until I moved to America.
Oh, this is a big darn deal and very interactive, shall we say.
Ba, 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 like that.
Yeah, exactly.
So no, I've nailed it now. It's a very big karaoke song for a lot of people to sing.
You crushed that. Blood, sweat, and tears, he mentioned. We'll see how many tears happen after this actual flight or non-flight. Depends on how this craft goes. It's an interesting contraption and kind of a catbird seat that pilot has.
Apparently these guys have watched so much Red Bull action sport that they just wanted to get in on the action themselves. It's like it's their time to shine and to fly. Let's see how they go. It's a helicopter. That's actually really quite brilliant.
Bum, bum.
That's good.
That was really good, Ma. They've
a
got to be pleased with that as the watercraft come in to make sure everybody's okay. There really is a great cleanup team here. It's just the epitome of safety.
Oh,
That's
what
a full-on flip.
Bonus points for sure.
That has to be bonus
My
points.
favorite kind of show off are ones that actually land it well.
That is gutsy, flat out ballsy
I couldn't
to
even
do
jump
that.
off it if we're going to be quite honest
Good
here.
night.
I have a feeling these are our new team leaders, but I won't speak too soon. But that was really well done. Let's check out that replay. That's a sword.
That's a really good ride.
That was a glide ride.
And the other thing you have to keep in mind is the pushers, the ones that are really launching the craft, they have to put on the brakes in a hurry so as they don't go over the edge as well,
I
right?
didn't even think about that.
I mean, it's just like you push, you
Or
go
don't.
full speed, and then all of a sudden you got to go, whoa, giddy up, no.
Yeah, false rule right here in the Twitch chat saying that was smooth with like 4 O's.
Great scores, too.
This has to be our leader right here. That's an 8, a 6, 7, 7, and 7. I wonder what the 6 was about.
Steel Diamond, Diamond in the rough, or Diamond, our girl's best friend. I don't know. I'm just throwing things
everyone
out there.
wins.
It's a win-win. Coming up next, this is kind of another one with local flair. The name of this craft is Das Fluggenlucy. Did
Go
I
on.
do that right?
Fluggenlucy.
I don't know what this was, but yeah, Fluggenlucy. And so the Juicy Lucy is sort of like the state hamburger, if there is such a thing. That's the burger you get that has melted cheese on the inside of the patty. Okay, so you bite into it, and it's like this molten cheese that spills all over your lips and burns you, but it's so,
but it's worth it.
so good.
That's usually Hot Pocket's job. Ivy did catch up with that team to have an interview and check out what is going on with their craft.
Hey guys, behind us is a beautiful craft. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Yeah, we're representing the Nook, which makes the best Juicy Lucy burgers in Minnesota. So we made a Flying Juicy Lucy.
Incredible. I am super excited to see this one go off the deck. Is there anything else that you are putting in your skit that is going to come out?
We're just trying to represent Minnesota. We got Sunday Night in the Lakers playing us up.
Awesome. Good luck out there, you guys. Can't wait to watch.
So their team are actually made up of not only staff at that place, the Nook, but also regulars.
It's a really good Juicy Lucy. There's a debate here in the Twin Cities as to which restaurant has the best Juicy Lucy's. You'll hear a lot of them say that they're the originals, they're the best, they're the greatest. But you know, the Nook certainly is up there.
I mean, they built a craft dedicated to it. That in itself screams volumes here. They are right there on the barge, ready to go through. Ketchup's there, mustard's there, so we've got everything. I'm not seeing the cheese explode out after the first bite, but that could possibly be the pilot ejecting from the craft.
Yeah, maybe that will be part of the showmanship with actual liquid cheese spurting out as it goes over the edge. I'm interested to see how this all unfolds.
Is the pilot the pickle?
I think the pilot is the pickle.
Today really is a day of firsts.
Yes, now let's see if they can catch up to the competition.
Oh my goodness,
What?
amazing. I love it.
Okay. I would relish it if they did.
Oh, we've just said this just came in. Team 4 at the moment, which was the Superbird, Duck Bird, Grey Bird. Can't get that wrong. They still have the longest distance.
Outstanding. Yeah, okay, there it is.
Yeah, so Superbird is winning that one. Oh, not the Duck Boo. Sorry, that's just
Superbird.
Superbird.
There's a bunch of birds.
Aren't there so many birds?
Yeah, there's been bird is the word. There's been the Superbird, and there's been Duck, Grey Duck.
The Le Tour de Nord.
This is just
Effortlessly rolled off the tongue there.
that time you finally nailed it, Maud. Great job.
We should try and get Ivy to learn that pickle dance.
The pickle is fired up. Now, obviously, the helmet underneath showing that he is ready for flight.
We've got J.R. Mail in the chat saying the Nook is at least third in the Juicy Lucy quality.
It's really, really good.
That's
yeah.
inside
Uh-oh.
information.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's probably...
Oh, jeez.
Oh, that was a splat burger. That burger was dropped.
Yeah, splat burger
The
is right.
5-second rule does not apply here.
I think the cheese is definitely out of the middle of that patty now after that
The
splashdown.
team looking a little lackluster over that one. The mustard entered the water in a timely fashion.
The burger itself plummeted into the river, and it looked like as though the bun shot off nose first. But what we see is these pilots, they tap their helmet to let everybody know that they're okay. And so far without incident, which we're thrilled to report.
If you are watching on the feed right now with Twitch, I am looking at all the comments coming through. Some of you having incredibly high standards. We've got Thick Biscuit saying, man, that was atrocious. Thick Biscuit, there are 800 submissions and 38 got through to be able to perform. Put your money where your mouth is, buddy. I reckon you come back to the next Flugtag and see how you go.
Let's see how the judges score this one. I would imagine that they'll be a little bit, oh, wow.
Someone likes hamburgers.
Jeez.
That's a 7.
That's a pretty good number. I'm thinking that's meat sauce again. He's like the one judge in figure skating that just always is so different.
Those standards are supremely high, but don't forget, St. Paul is where the first world record did happen. It got broken 3 years later in 2013, but that was, we're expecting big things here. Big crowd as well.
The bar has been set high here, Maud, for sure.
Thick Biscuit, a challenge accepted. In all caps says, I am there, pay for my flight.
Nice. This is it. This is the barge that's out here in the middle of the Mississippi River in St. Paul on the Mississippi. As the bluffs are on each side, you'll see a lot of boats around the barge. There's a lot of boats lined up in the river. That's just people that have come out just to witness this spectacle.
They're in
and
the best seats in the house for that one.
My goodness, seriously, they're right up on it.
Well, we did mention that in 2010 the St. Paul record did take place. Let's check out to see that in action.
St. Paul, we might have a humdinger here. Lift off, yes! We have flight! Go, go, go! Yeah!
That buoy out there is 195 feet. That is the world record.
Folks, it is unofficial, but from what I saw from my angle, that went 196 feet at least.
Look at the big screen. Here's a replay.
It's okay. It lifted, it got lift. It then went dipped, it went up again, and it was where the pilot lands. That is officially a world record.
I'm not usually an emotional person, but that was absolutely beautiful.
That's so awesome. You know those movies where the plane goes down and all of a sudden the pilot's like pulling back on the controls? That's kind of how that was. It was going down, but she pulled back on those controls and saved the day. This is the number 10 entry today.
Okay, so full confession, I'm a massive nerd, especially when it comes to video games. So right here we do have Mario, his brother Luigi, the nemesis, I believe that's Waluigi in the purple, and Princess Peach. The prettiest princess I've ever seen. In Mario Kart, she goes, thank you, you were cool.
And that little round belly he's got is just extra padding for what's inevitably about to happen.
Oh, again, it is about how far the pilot goes. So the fact that the actual craft drops out, and there he is tapping his head to say, yep, got it.
I think every piece of that craft splayed all over the place. There was not a piece of that craft that stayed intact. But not a bad flight. That was one of the smaller crafts, and these.
It was quite petite.
Yeah, and these we do have like specifications on how big these can be. They can't be any wider than 24 feet long, Maud, from wingtip to wingtip. The length then is 20 feet is the maximum from nose to tail, and the height can't be taller than 10 feet. And so all these.
So you can't actually enter then.
I'm not that tall. Stop.
A lot of other nerds in the chat right now. Arnie Palmy Alert said, what up, fellow nerds? Space Patrol host saying Princess Peach as a male with a slew of love hearts after that. You're right. That's something that I needed to see today for sure.
Really good scores, too. I was surprised that the scores were that strong. I mean, there was we saw some 7s and 8s there. Right
it was
now.
Actually a beautiful descent.
And again, the theme, and it's so much as has to do with the showmanship. Mom.
Here are some of the highlights of what we've previously seen so far at the 2019 Red Bull Flugtag. That they're the current leader going there. But we're going to take a little break. We will be right back. are back and you are watching Red Bull Flugtag live on Twitch. This is an event where basically people submit crazy ideas of aircrafts that they build themselves. And the best of the best, 38 teams out of 800 submissions, get to build it and run off the Red Bull barge and hopefully gain as much air and flight as possible to take out the first prize here today. There's a lot of prizes happening actually. If you are watching right now, you get to vote for the People's Choice Awards, just to help, for the best one that you liked. So jump onto redbullflugtag.com to cast your vote, and Flugtag is Flugtag. So get your vote in, because at the moment we have the scores coming in, and the distance does matter as well.
Absolutely matters, as does showmanship, as does creativity. It's judged on all three of those aspects, and so far we've seen some really great ones in all different categories. We've seen some that are stronger on showmanship and not so much on flying. Here on the beautiful Mississippi River in St. Paul, where it's fall. I mean, it's fall, literally. People are falling. You know what I'm saying?
Everything's falling all around us big time. Right now, we've got the Tater Tot Titans. I actually had a chat with these guys before. This is the dance from Napoleon Dynamite, the movie that came out quite a few years ago now, but this is the official dance, I do believe, from Napoleon Dynamite. The craft itself, though, they're trying to emulate tater tots.
Tater tot hot dish, yeah, which is like a huge dish and a culinary favorite here in the north, as we like to say. And to be honest with you, I'm told that this is a team of engineers, and one of them is a potato engineer.
Stop it.
I don't. That's a legit thing. I don't exactly know what a potato engineer does.
I don't know either, but I want to be one so bad.
We're about to find out if
Potatoes are the best.
If a potato engineer can fly.
Boil them, mash them, put them in a stew. Here we go. Potatoes can fly, but took a big nosedive.
That's a solid nosedive.
What happened? Because there were two aerospace engineers on that one, and they must be scratching their head.
My goodness. Well, thank goodness he's patting his head, which means he's safe, and the craft is in shambles per usual, and everybody's happy with the ride. I don't happy to have done it, happy to have been part. These, like you said before, anybody that competes here is a winner already. That's a cheesy line, but like it's so true, right? It's so true.
You can actually see on the pilot where like the gravity really hits in from that drop. They go, and his legs raised because right there.
There's a little bit, and then the nosedive just.
Good entry though into the water.
Jeez.
The craft not quite making it, but it actually didn't break apart. That thing, that's built to take a punch.
That's a sturdy tater tot hot dish there, Maud.
But the pilot coming out shaking their head. The judges' score is in right now, 88988. That has to be the highest score of the day.
You know, the flight itself was left a little bit to be desired, but as we saw, that dance was on point. And anytime you can bring the Napoleon Dynamite creation
it
into
was a
this
great
competition.
skit. Their moves were great, especially for a bunch of white guys. Right now, my favorite craft of the event, it's called Flying POS. Yes, that is an acronym, and it is actual flying poop. And to chat with the team, Ivy caught up with them to find out what it's all about. Yes.
We are here with Flying POS. Very excited to see this one. What do these do?
They keep the trailing edge from going up, give us a lot of control so we can hopefully go to Fargo.
Awesome. Some real technique in this one. Awesome. Well, I'm really excited to see your guys' skit, and good luck out there.
Team 4 is still in the lead at the moment. One of the birds that flew the furthest, the Super Bird right there. They were the Joe Dirt team with the mullets and the bogans. So they're currently still in the lead with distance only, not necessarily scores.
Maud, I had a chance to talk to Flying POS as well earlier out on the grounds as they were getting their craft lined up. And there is a great deal of detail within this project. If you look very carefully at the pieces of S, you'll see little chunks of corn. And I don't want to get too down and dirty here, but these are folks that work. They're airplane maintenance folks, right? This is what they do for a living. So they say that they've seen a lot of stuff the down and dirty side of airplanes, and it looks like we're having some problems with the craft already. It appears to be not just a flying POS, but perhaps a grounded POS too.
I believe they are all wearing giant diapers at the moment because I think that, if you are scared of heights, you could actually relieve yourself.
This team is from Schaumburg, Illinois. Maud,
She is. She's going.
Is it just me, or
She's
yes?
pushing it out.
Yeah, some of these diapers look actually full.
I'm not too afraid to admit this. I am such a fan of poop humor.
Yeah. Okay. You can have this one.
I would say I'm eating it up, but that's actually not the best choice of words to use right now with this. It's weird though to see adults wearing diapers in that capacity because that is absolutely not what I'm into.
Oh my goodness. Let's see if this takes a dump. Right now.
Whoa! No! That was a flying turd! Wowee!
Brilliant.
You know
What a
what?
flight.
That technique's so good. It's like when you say that you're a flying POS, but then you absolutely deliver. You exceed expectations when you promise rock bottom.
Right, when you're setting the bar pretty low. I got that bottom part, yeah. Nice. They have to be delighted with that POS right now. That was something else. You got a lot of distance here. Surprisingly, great speed going into the launch.
Wowee.
And then the separation from
so
cart
great.
to wings. My goodness.
I'm
just-
getting called classy a lot in the chat there because I used flying turd as a term, but what else would you use to describe that?
It is, after all, a POS.
Yeah.
And now we'll see what the judges have to think about this. I would imagine, Maud, you're going to see maybe some of the highest scores we've seen all afternoon.
Wowee, they're pushing out the 9s, that's for sure. And 1-8.
They're pushing them out?
Not an accident.
Okay.
Not an accident.
Okay.
Wow, just found out that those there, the flying POS, are tied with Superbird, which were the reigning champions thus far. So they got absolutely plopped on right there.
That was great.
Oh,
That was a
can't
great
say the
flight.
words that I want to say, that's
I know.
for sure.
Good restraint.
Thank you so much.
Way to abstain.
Abstain.
Maud, we've got another, this is entry number 13 coming up here. This is Teddy on a big stick, because, of course, Teddy Roosevelt walks off.
Oh,
They
of
carry a big
course.
stick. And, of course, the other tie into this, at least locally, is that at the Minnesota State Fair, which just concluded recently, they have everything on a stick. Any kind of imaginable food that you can think of.
Put it on a stick.
They put it on a stick. Absolutely. And so this carries a little kind of double entendre here.
I'm all a big fan of the double entendres. And when I say I enjoy poop humor and then start
Teddy
giggling
on
like a
big
girl.
stick.
that
Can
happens.
you tell me a little bit about the aesthetic, beauty, the inspiration behind this gorgeous craft?
Yeah, for sure. So our theme is Teddy on a big stick, and it's Theodore Roosevelt and State Fair food on a stick because Teddy Roosevelt said to speak softly and carry a big stick at the Minnesota State Fair. So that's our connection.
Awesome. Well, I'm really excited to watch you guys out there, and I'm hoping that you fly far. Bye, guys.
All right, we are back on the banks of the Mississippi River here in St. Paul, Harriet Island to be specific, where we are getting ready for yet another launch. Teddy on a big stick.
Yeah, we stream on this website, so that's why they're calling us by whatever those names.
Oh, fantastic. We are joined right now, the Twitch chat going absolutely off for this one because we have one of the Red Bull pro gamers right now, Avalanche, just dropping in
How's
right
it going,
there.
guys? How's it going?
The man.
I wish I was a pro. I'm not a professional gamer. I'm just a streamer, but hey, we're here with 100 Thieves.
If you're a streamer and you do it for a living, is that not professional?
In a way, I guess it is professional. I wish I was better at video games, but our side of things, I'd say, we're just entertainment. If you're looking for a laugh on Twitch, you can come watch us. But
Have you been having a lot of laughs today watching
oh, this
the
has been the funniest thing ever. That last crap that just flew off the edge, the hamster ball too. Everything. The chat's freaking out. That's crazy.
You will go far.
Craft.
Oh,
I
well,
mean, crap
it
would.
works.
Can I say that? Am I allowed to say that?
I just said it. Alrighty,
But yeah.
right now we do have the Teddy on a big stick going to attempt their craft right now. Attempt to fly.
By the way, there is a Teddy on both sides of this craft, so no matter which side of the Mississippi you're on, you're seeing Teddy's mug right there. We'll see how he flies.
That's a big miss.
Oh,
right on it.
No. You know, you can design them the best you can and do your best as far as the engineering and the building, but ultimately, some of these just don't work.
Hopefully ours goes a little bit further than that one.
Are you? Well, yeah, let's talk about the fact that you're going to be up there. What's your craft all about? What can we expect?
So we have this big wing contraption on the top of ours that's going to break off from the bottom piece, and we're going to send our lightest member. I am 200 pounds. I'm not going. I also have, can I get this on the camera, a leg injury over here?
What happened?
That's not going to work. Yeah.
How entertaining were you on your stream?
No, I hurt my leg skateboarding, but that's fine. That's whatever. We're going to send
got a
our
badass
smallest
over here.
member. The Chad spamming Frosty, yeah, he's going to be the one going off the edge.
So now let me ask you
Oh, he's
this.
the lightest member.
Yeah, lightest member.
Are you guys practicing like any of
So-
those? How do you practice for this?
If I was like a professional for say like Fortnite, for example, I'd be practicing hours and hours and hours over and over. It's just like any other thing.
Well, if I say that you are, you are. That's how that
I
works.
I wish I was a pro at Fortnite, but.
Are you practicing for Flug Talk?
Oh,
There's-
I thought you were talking about video games.
I was, but now I'm talking about
This-
Flug Talk.
The mob is my group, and we have not practiced at all. We're just gonna kind of wing this and see what happens. So, yeah.
I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
What is the worst that could happen?
We actually are legally not allowed to talk about the worst thing that could actually happen, but that's, you know what?
Am I gonna get
believe
fined?
in you. I believe
Thank you,
in
thank you. We're excited. We're excited. I
You
will
actually
not.
have to beat a flying POS at the moment.
Oh,
they are
we got
number
that.
one at the moment.
No
They've
worries.
gone the
Wait,
furthest.
what's the furthest distance?
I do not have that information,
Okay.
but it 258's the record.
258's the record.
Could you beat that?
We'll keep that number in mind. 258. I think we can. With our
And-
wing contraption, I think we can do it.
Just don't have anybody else come out with a leg brace after this event. That's
yeah.
all I ask.
Have you prepared yourself for if you absolutely flop and drop?
I don't know. I am one of the people that's going to be pushing our thing, and I have a hurt leg.
Oh.
So
They're
we're
all
gonna
going to
see-
blame you.
No, I think I'm just going to stick through it. I'm going to endure the pain, but we're going to see how far we can send
Are you
this.
going to jump in?
Should I jump in?
What's
Ask
your
the
doctor
chat.
say?
Chat,
Oh.
should I jump in?
Oh, goodness. You know
Ask the
exactly
Twitch
what
chat.
they're going to say because they've all been blasting about Frosty.
I don't know if I'm
and
permitted
Ava.
to jump in with an injury. I don't know if that's a safety hazard or something.
You should do it, though. What's the worst that could happen
I'll
again?
do it. I'll jump in. I'll gladly jump in.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
100 Thieves are all
The
out there
chat's
rocking,
saying,
their,
yeah.
rocking the squad shirts.
What's up, Classify? How's
This
it
looks
going?
like it was good for aerodynamics.
Yep.
That
Nice, thin, breathable material here.
You're jumping in. You're jumping in.
Oh, can I give a few shout-outs to a few people?
Oh, I tell you what, though, everyone in the chat wants you to jump in. I don't make the rules here, they do, and that's what has to happen.
So wait, I have to jump in right now?
No.
Obviously not. After you pushed. You
I'll
push and
jump in.
jump.
I'll jump in.
Good, you heard it here first, so it actually has to happen. If you psych out, we will find you.
I'll jump in.
Okay, there
Promise
it is.
right
You
here
heard-
on
That's a promise. Fantastic. Well, how long until you're up?
Until we're up,
You soon?
an hour,
I'm
less
looking
than
at
that.
I'm looking at a Sasquatch right
Yeah,
now.
there's a Sasquatch over here. We tried to talk to him earlier, and he just made random noises back. We tried
Yeah.
to get him
It's
on
a
our...
Sasquatch. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me? What were you expecting?
Yeah, he's kind of scared me, but he means business. He means business.
Is there actually much of a vibe of competition back there?
Oh, yeah.
Are people in it to win
Yeah,
it?
I
or
feel
are
like I feel like people are here to compete.
they- There's a Sasquatch.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, I thought he was about to dab, but it turns out he's just trying to smell himself.
Yeah.
Oh, he is. He's serious.
I mean, we've made some friends too. It's Wacky Chan. I'd like to shout out that team here.
They have a fan group.
They were right across the way from our setup, and we made friends with them earlier. A lot of great people here.
Right
Oh, look
here,
at these
Project Albatross. Again, I wish I had the confidence of a man wearing a whole entire lycra bodysuit there, or gold hot pants, as that guy's doing.
Yeah, Mod, this craft was created by Twin Cities Make, a local maker group that says the best way to learn is by doing so why not learn how to make a flying machine? That's kind of their inspiration here.
Nope. Yeah, there we go. What wonder what the gold's all about?
I don't know, but it's not looking that sturdy right now. I mean,
Yeah, the concern is already showing up on his face there.
oh, jeez.
Oh, Nike Buzzard saying choreography, meh. about that
Oh.
one.
Not going to be at the top of the leaderboard, let's just
I
say.
believe I'm suffering from, is it Schadenfreude?
Yes,
Yeah,
Schadenfreude.
I have a lot of that right now. Clem's 12 saying Wright Brothers. That's right. Obviously, the Wright Brothers were the people that discovered flight with their craft, and that's kind of what this craft resembles. Whoa, head first. Have we seen that yet?
Yes, we've seen a few of those now, but that was the first, on top of the wing head first that I've seen. That was pretty brilliant.
Right now in the chat, there's a lot of oof.
Oh,
there's
yeah.
a lot of yeesh.
Yep, that's the Twitch chat for you right there.
And a solid nosedive from False Rule.
Twitch chats are always full of a bunch of entertaining things.
Oh, Thick Biscuit not thrilled about that, saying they stunk, Maud. Oh, that is not so great. 4, 3, 2, 5, 4, 5 being their best, and that is less than that's less than average.
Again,
there.
Meat Sauce in the middle, coming in with the hammer.
What do you think about that score?
I mean, I felt that was kind of mean, I guess. I would have scored it a little bit higher, but, you know.
Hold on. If you think that's mean, but you're on Twitch and you go through Twitch chat every day.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
do you know
I'm used to a lot of mean things on the internet. I've become pretty numb to it, but hey, that's the internet. The internet's a fun place, though.
Isn't it? So great. The internet's a bridge. And what lives under the bridge? Trolls.
Trolls.
Guys,
That is
come on,
actually, that's kind of smart. That's kind of smart.
I
would say
I'm blonde. Come
the
on.
people in the chat, I see a lot of trolls in there too. There are a lot of people trolling, but
We got
that's our side
hashtag
of
ride the
internet.
mob.
Ride
we
the
got
mob.
Ava. I thought Ava was a woman that entire time.
Oh.
Turns out it's short for Avalanche.
Do you think it's Avalanche, or would you say Ava or Ava? That's what people always debate.
Well, I mean,
Avalanche.
it's a legitimate.
Avalanche.
It's
Yeah.
a legitimate
So short
name.
would be Ava, right?
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of people in the community call me Ava.
That's
and
because it's an actual name.
yeah, and I turn around, like people think like I have a girl's name or something.
So,
but,
they
it's
think your
whatever.
last name is Lanch?
Yeah.
Or something? Okay.
Ava Space Lange, that's my name.
That's brilliant.
By the way, we're coming up here on entry number 15. There are 38 in all, so we're not quite halfway there, but
we're
getting
soaring
there.
through it.
We are, and we've seen some really, really inspired flights, and definitely some funky moves on the dance floor.
I
if you
get
will.
the giggles every time I think about our winning team at the moment, which is flying POS.
My goodness, seriously. Sky Shredder is up next. This is another local craft mod, and they're on right now on the deck behind us. As
So I'm just calling out Ava over here. Ava laugh over that, eh? Ava
Avalanche.
laugh.
They like the dab a lot.
There we go. What number is the mob? That's a great question. What is
What
the name
number
of your
is the mob?
craft?
We do not have a name. It's just the 100 Thieves craft.
You've got to have a name. Okay, I
can
think
make a
these
name.
pants are the best I've ever
Ooh.
seen. This is team number 15, Sky Shredder.
Now this is a group from Afton Alps, which is a local ski hill here.
Oh, we just snapped the board.
That's nice. That's a snowboard snap over
It
the
was.
head. That's a high degree of difficulty mod. And now let's see.
Stupid, sexy Ned Flanders. Sorry, that was a pop culture reference. Every time I see ski pants. Whoa!
That had the potential to really take a.
I thought that was going somewhere.
That it was almost a
It did.
backflip.
It went backwards. Yeah.
Almost a backflip.
Have you ever gone so forwards that you went backwards? Well, that's what it looks like.
Hopefully we don't do that.
Wow. Everybody's good. Everybody's good. The flight itself wasn't great, but the Afton Alps craft named Sky Shredder.
What? They're not jumping?
Although it doesn't always happen. Like, you have to have some chutzpah to jump from the very top.
They're
And-
going to rock pants like that, and they're not going to jump?
Right. You would think, right? You would think that they're used to being airborne out there on the snowboard hill. By the way, one of them's wearing ski boots, so
See you,
maybe that was
buddy.
part of the concern, is that wearing ski boots probably wasn't a good thing to jump into a river with ski boots on.
36 feet there with the distance, not something to write home about. Or ski up the slope. We are crossing over to the judges right now. What have we got here? A solid round of 5s, a 7, and an 8. I wonder why the 8 is happening there. We are moving forward with our next team, though. You've been seeing and hearing all about the Sasquatch. Let's find out a little bit more about what the teams have, what it's all about.
We are Sasquatch and the Jerky Jockeys. Right now we're at the Jack Link's warehouse building our Sasquatch-inspired flying machine. Check it out.
This is so flying.
The idea to enter Red Bull Flugtag was brought up to us by Sasquatch. Sasquatch says he learned about Red Bull Flugtag from a little birdie, I think Twitter. I think we felt like we were heading in a good direction until about 5 minutes ago.
You're so strong.
Sasquatch obviously is not super thrilled about what came out. So we're making some light modifications.
What? I know what I'm doing.
Oh, 3 big feet. I get it. Well, I think we gotta find some cordage, huh? Out there? I think he might be missing the beat a little bit on modern technology and materials. Yeah. Mostly, I think Sasquatch is difficult to work with because of the odor. The guy hasn't showered in like 40 years, so I imagine that has something to do with it. And there are some language barriers that we deal with at times. Put the beat down. Put the beat down. That makes sense.
Sure.
Truthfully, this is probably the best spot to be on the team right now in this very moment, is standing here and not over there working with him. What's up, buddy? Just talking about the boss.
Sasquatch thinks he knows everything, but I'm the pilot here. I mean, I know you're the architect, but still, I think this is pretty good. I mean, he lives in the woods. Like, what does he know about all this stuff, right?
I just felt like I was watching a mockumentary right there, because the commitment that was happening is just astounding. The sketch is starting right now with Sasquatch. He kind of looks like a funky Wookiee, and I don't know what's going on in Kashyyyk right there.
Yeah, a Wookiee with like a serious hairline issue going on. But you know what? Here's the deal. These teams are made up of 5 people, men and women, but we should mention that Sasquatch is not like just a mascot up there right now. He is one of the team members that will be pushing.
If you've got a Sasquatch pushing you, surely.
Surely. Well, he's just kind of
He's chasing them.
Oh, no.
Oh, he was using fear as a method to get them to go faster. He got logged on.
My goodness, for how much like care and effort that was put into that craft that we just saw in that mockumentary, as you call it, that was surely a disappointment for Team Sasquatch here.
The chat, lol, oh, oof, nosedive. La, LMAO.
All of the above on this one.
My goodness.
I was talking to a couple of these pilots, and all of them sort of have to, because eventually you're coming down, right? They all have to strategize whatever their exit plan is. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You have to know which way you're going to bail when inevitably you're going to hit the water.
He was side straddling the log.
He
was doing side saddle. Look, that's a pretty average score right there with a 5, 4, 6, 5, and 4. Ashlen Knight said I could build better in Minecraft. Minecraft are just a bunch of blocks, dude. Of course you can. That's not even a brag. I know what you're talking about. And thanks for everyone who actually did understand my Star Wars reference of Kashyyyk being the home planet of Wookiees. Weird flex, but okay, there we are.
No, it's a great flex. Are you kidding me? I didn't even know that, and I consider myself a fan of Star Wars. I didn't know they were from Kashyyyk. Kashyyyk I thought was just some like modern hip-hop artist.
Fantastic. We haven't seen Ivy for a little bit. She's checking out all of the crafts and interviewing them, so let's see what she's up to.
Oh, hey guys. Didn't see you there. I'm here in front of the Red Bull Land Cruiser, a mobile arcade of gaming fun. We have 3 stations out here, and just when you thought it couldn't get any better, it can, because there's 8 more gaming stations inside. Each one is filled with PS4 systems and HyperX headphones, making your gaming experience amazing, realistic, and fun. We have fighting games, racing games. So if you're at the event, come over, stop by. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be gaming, having a blast all day. I'm going to get back into this. I'll see you guys around.
What was she doing over at the gaming station?
don't
This is
know.
ridiculous. Here I am working my butt off.
I mean, I love sitting next to you here in our studio here high atop the Mississippi River, but man, she's got a good gig running around out there.
For joining us now, we are watching the Fire King crew doing a pretty rad dance. That I think that's the only way I can describe it. Pretty rad.
Complete with their red mohawks. So basically what happens here in St. Paul every winter is the Winter Carnival. And part of that Winter Carnival is a group of people called the Vulcans that ride around in a giant red fire truck. And so this crew, sort of inspired by the St. Paul Winter Carnival Vulcans, And we'll see how they are able to fly once they get to the end of said launch pad.
For those in the Twitch chat asking where Ava has gone, he's got to join his crew again because he's going to be up really, really soon. He's got to prepare, so he can't hang and chat with us. But right now, that looks like that's a lot of foam. That's a big foam board right there. We've seen different bits of luck coming with foam boards.
And here comes the Fire King Cruiser off the edge, and a pretty good flight.
Not so bad. His legs just flung out ahead of him there.
Pretty solid. I mean, I'd give that more than the last group that we saw, which was sort of an across-the-board meh.
The team's jumping in. You should surely get a bonus point for the team jumping in, because I couldn't do it.
I still think the guy that did the flip off the top was
What a legend.
Yeah, that guy's just next level.
I might find him later just to say hi.
The Mohawks are wet. The craft is safe. Well, the craft's not safe, but the people are safe, and that's all good. And now we're about to see the judges' scores and what they think of Fire King Crew. And its distance of 11.9 meters, or 39 feet, right?
I thought that would be a little bit, oh no, it was 13 feet the previous one, which wasn't so great. So that's actually not so bad.
In Australia, do they use meters or feet?
Meters, because we're legends.
Okay, got it.
It's easier.
I just had to make sure.
Yeah.
Decent scores, pretty solid for Fire King Crew. They've got to be happy with that. That's going to put them at least in the mix, in the conversation for top contenders here today. And we've seen 17 crafts go off so far, flying machines, if you will, because Flugtag, after all, does mean flying day.
It certainly does. But the next team is called Her Smoke Rose Up Forever, a Minnesotan team that they're bringing together design, engineering, craft, innovation. But we're going to learn a little bit more about that team right now.
Here we are, we're doing it. My name is Dara. I am a team member for Her Smoke Rose Up Forever.
Any person could extrapolate on that title in almost any way. Something politically charged, it could be taken as something poetic, and it kind of, I feel like it triggers a little mechanics in your brain.
The entire team of Her Smoke Rose Up Forever is definitely a collection of eclectic, artistic, super talented humans. We've all kind of grown up building.
Every single person contributed and was on the same page with decisions from the beginning.
Even though none of us are aerospace engineers, I think that we can all together create a flying craft.
So that means it's just time to have fun.
Our craft is essentially a hang glider.
Brandon's kind of the mastermind, actually. He's pulled all this together.
We're all going to be pushing this way, and the pilot can provide his own additional thrust in an upward trajectory. It's not rocket science.
You put the doohickey to the thing, and then it rolls, and it goes like it goes off rails.
It's just Flugtag science.
The wheels are going on today.
I definitely think this thing is going to fly.
I hope that we have a lot of fun. That's all I hope for. I hope that I jump off the platform also, because I feel a little skittish about it right now.
Am I personally going to jump off the platform? I don't need to. I'm the tank, okay?
Nathan is the pilot, because he's the lightest.
We're gonna land on dry land. Dude over here was like, hey, do you want to be on this team? We're gonna make a thing that flies. And I was like, well, that's pretty rowdy. Like, yeah, I'm down for some cool stuff.
The skid is scary because none of us have any idea what to do.
Our skit is offering Nathan to the gods.
I'm not doing that.
Are you okay with it?
Great. Oh my God.
It's like beautiful. So that's what this is all about. That's it.
A component of this, not only is it the design, and they seem to have the design down because there was a blueprint there, like they really were giving it their all, but there's also the skit, which is what we're seeing right now, and this is something that I was wondering what would happen with a team full of pierced people would do.
These are creative folks. Street Factory Media is sort of an ad agency in town, and they do such brilliant work, and so now this is the sacrifice. Obviously, the person in gold is going to be the one sacrificed. I'm told that Wyatt, the guy that just took off his cape, is a Cessna pilot as well. He's flown Cessnas before, so he actually has pilot experience. And the wings of this craft mod are made of Dyneema, which is a very strong. You can stab it and you can't get a knife.
But I
through it.
wouldn't.
No, of course you wouldn't.
Okay.
But it's
I don't know. People think I'm an Australian and I have a thing about knives.
well, yeah. Okay, you don't. Not
That's
like
not a
no,
knife.
That was Crocodile Dundee.
There
wasn't
it is.
There it is.
I have a
All
feeling these guys really do. They're taking this quite seriously, and so far we've seen the hang glider design work the most successfully here.
I think this might have the best potential out here today.
Oh my God, we're gonna find out right now. Oh yeah, wowee. That's pretty good.
That's a doggone good flight.
Well, is he gonna jump in the water? He said he is. I says he was. Jump
and
in.
we are safe.
Get in there.
Good deal.
There
Let's
he
see how
goes.
Oh, come on, dude.
Get in there.
Let's go.
Whee!
Let's go.
Fantastic.
Love it.
We should get Ivy in. I reckon she could backflip.
Again, that was Her Smoke, Rose Up Forever, and just a doggone good flight.
Oh, the chat is actually already weighing in as if they're the judges. Blonick saying that's an 8. Other people, Effects JM saying that's an 8 as well. Aureologist is saying that Ava is probably going to re-break his leg on entrance into the water. It is possible. It isn't a knee brace right now, though. It didn't look good. It was scarring.
He was hobbled, let's just say. Definitely hobbled. And so here are the scores for Her
They're saying
Smoke.
it's a solid 8, but people saying that's Oblivion TU saying that's a 7.5. You're exactly right. Actually, it's probably more like a 7.25.
15.5 meters, very good
51
distance.
feet.
Yeah, that's a great.
phenomenal.
That's a great flight.
They should be so thrilled with that result.
You would think they would be, and what I'm psyched about right now is that we're about to see a Back to the Future themed flight.
That's a DeLorean. It is here right now. They've got the gigahertz going. Gigawatts. Get it right,
What?
Maud.
It's gigawatts, I thought, isn't it?
It probably is it a soft G?
That is 121 gigawatts.
You
no.
would think that I'd known this because I loved this movie, but you know what? Enough from me. Ivy's chatted to the team, so she's probably going to fill us in on more information.
I'm here with Back to the Flugtag. What is some of the best aspects of your craft?
We just got it's a lot of fashion, you know, we took a long time building it. I don't know, it's just a great piece.
Amazing. You guys are big fans of Back to the Future?
Yeah, we are. Big fans, you know, it's a great flick. We love to watch it with our parents, and, you know, it's just a great time.
Amazing. Well, good luck up there, guys. I'm really excited to see it.
Thank you.
So currently standing, that team right there, they have the highest score for showmanship so far. I mean, they did build a DeLorean.
Are you telling me
Obviously,
you
this
built
is
a
important
time
as well to
machine?
see if their skip goes down.
Out of a DeLorean?
Oh, nice.
Yes.
I was hoping this
That's
would happen.
a better cartwheel than I can do there.
That was a good.
Does this mean they're going to flirt with their mum?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Great call.
Yeah, right. If they're really going to be genuine with it.
I think that's when they hit 88 miles an hour. That's when that will happen.
They've already punched in the screen there. Can confirm it is a gigawatt. You best me in this round.
Okay, very good.
Man, my nerd cred just got flushed.
As long as the flux capacitor stays intact, I think we're okay here on this. Oh yeah, that's a train wreck.
Well, you just jumped off it.
No, he's all right.
That's a ride or die right there.
Yeah, that was rough. That was rough.
So was my joke. All right. Well, I mean, they had the head start before they were even going in there.
Yeah, Doc Brown needs to go back to the drawing board
Oh my
on
gosh,
that one.
Doc was on the dock. I didn't deserve that.
Yeah, you did. That was good. That was really good.
You know that Brown's also a poop joke, right? I'm sorry, but
How many times are we going to have to revisit POS?
if they win.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Every single time. The team not thrilled with that. Only 18 feet, which is not fantastic. Well, they wanted to go back to the Flugtag, and they went pretty backwards there. If they could go back in time, do you think that they'd do better?
Well, it depends. If they can get the sports almanac from Biff Tannen, I don't know. We'll have to see.
My goodness.
Or was-
What the?
Whoa.
Someone likes Michael J. Fox.
I think again, that's a thematic score that you're seeing from Alexa Score, whose last name is Score, which is 9. That's strong.
That is so strong, because in the Twitch chat, people are saying it was a 2, a 3, 3, 0, 2, 22, 6 out of 10 because he double jumped.
Alexa is clearly a BTTF fan, and so that probably influenced her score greatly because
Twitch is just question marking over it. They did not think that it deserved the score that it got just then.
That was sort of like Back to the Future 3, just not as good as the other ones.
I am absolutely biffed over that one, I'll tell you.
Yeah. So now we've got another entry coming up, and by the way, your guy Ava's almost on. It's almost time for him. But this is.
I mean, his name's Avalanche. All he has to do is just.
That's all. That's all. Is he going to jump in? He has to jump in, especially
He said
after
he
all
promised. We've got it on camera. It's live. It's happening.
Yeah.
But let's check in with Ivy at the moment. We've got Ivy out there. Let's see what she's up to.
Another amazing craft. Can you tell us about it?
It's a toe, a giant severed toe. We're fans of the Big Lebowski. Thought we'd have fun and fly a toe off the edge.
Oh, we're very excited to watch it. Is there anything in the skit we can look out for?
Poor Donnie.
Awesome. Well, I'm really excited to watch. We'll see you guys. Good luck.
Oh, look, I'm a little bit biased here with anything Big Lebowski because there is a character in that movie, and her name is Maud. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
It's probably the least worst thing to happen to my name.
I'll say this also. Here in town, there is a restaurant called Cafe Maud.
Stop it!
Really?
I'll have to
You-
eat there.
You will have to. It's really good food. Really good. It's kind of a classy establishment.
So these guys are a toe ahead. I wonder if they're going to bowl all the way down the barge there. Do you like the Big Lebowski?
Absolutely. Who
Or
doesn't?
are you more of a fan of Thor Lebowski?
Who does? By the way, this craft, if you get a look at it, you'll see that there's just. It's sort of an accident waiting to happen. I don't really think that they're strong contenders here today. I guess you never know until they leave the launch pad. But as of right now, my expectations and hopes for this craft pretty low.
I mean,
Base.
they're towing the line.
They are.
Wow, I just saw you look so defeated at that. I haven't even begun.
It wasn't defeated. I was just bummed that I didn't think of it.
Good recovery. My aim is to destroy souls with my pun usage, so I feel like I'm getting there. I gain energy from it. Get it? A toe ahead. Yay! Space Patrol ho, loving my jokes. What did you do in Space Patrol to get that user tag, I wonder? You know what? Maybe don't tell me. Blonick saying, shout out to the production for this event. It's really fun so far.
There are some, some of these teams of 5 have one person sort of designated like almost like a jockey, the pilot, who is, you tend to see the pilots be sort of smaller in stature because they'll help the craft go farther. But in this case, I'm not seeing a lot of diminutive sorts.
These guys almost look a bit nervous to get started with the sketch. There's a lot of chasing. Oh, you got
Oh, no. Oh.
Did I have a heart attack? I'm not sure. I need them to fill me in more.
Resuscitate. Oh,
Oh, he just got hit in the face.
I thought there was going to be a resuscitation. No.
Is this a reenactment of a scene in the Big Lebowski?
Better believe it.
That looks like the dude with the moustache. Did you also notice that Jeff Bridges, when he talks, it always sounds like he's just had his wisdom teeth taken in?
Good call.
I wish I could let go of it, but I can't.
Now the camaraderie. You can see people on their loft balconies across the river even checking out the action today. Great crowd here in St. Paul. We're on Harriet Island for Red Bull Flugtag. The second iteration. It was back here in 2010 for the first time. But this is only a team of 4. This is unusual.
Yeah, that means less power. And their biggest guy, the dude there, that's a bold choice because usually they have the lightest pilot to get further. No, he's just here for a good time. Ivy's joining us back at the desk too. You've been having a fun day.
I have been, you guys. I've been focusing on finding the inspiration, creativity on each different, and they're also unique. They all have something very interesting to them.
I mean, you have to because you're building a craft that you literally just throw into the water. I love that in the chat saying right now about that one that's he's just sipping a White Russian, which is the dude's drink of choice. Which is a weird one because really it's just alcohol and milk, and those two things don't necessarily go together very well.
I'm really geeked now because we're about to see 100 Thieves.
100 Thieves looks like this is a legit craft that we're about to see too.
Yeah.
Let's see the scores now for the Big
What?
Lebowski.
I tell you what, I feel like if you're representing something in pop culture, whether it be Back to the Future or the Big Lebowski, you just get bonus points big time. They didn't necessarily go very far, but the dude launched himself, and it's really, really fun to see a larger person like that with so much confidence just fly.
Yeah, he really took one for the team there.
Yeah. I mean, I did say bowling. He did. He got a strike.
Really
on that one.
really strong scores. I thought it was a strike out, but clearly.
No, you did. You were absolutely dead set certain that wouldn't go very well.
And it didn't.
Those scores were
and
fantastic.
it didn't. That's an
Great scores.
outlandish scores, if you ask me.
I just need you to have a little bit of faith here.
Well, I don't know. I thought it was a gutter ball. But
Was it a severed toe that put you off, maybe? That's great creativity with, what's your craft? Oh, it's a severed toe. You know, I'm not going to ask questions.
Exactly.
Off you go. Let's see how that one works. Oh, the Twitch chat absolutely losing it, knowing that Avalanche and Frost, I don't know if it's got an E on it. You guys will tell me in the chat, and I'm sure you'll be lovely about it. But their fans are called the Mob, and they're saying, ride the mob, let's go. That's all that's happened. They're using their Twitch emojis there, the emojis there. It is Frosty. Look, I'm Maud with an E, but I'm not Maudie. You have to just take a chance. It was 50-50.
Yeah, Maudie.
So apparently there's skydivers happening around here. Imagine being a professional skydiver where you're like, you know what? I think I just want to fly and jump out of planes just because I want to.
I mean, adrenaline has to be definitely one of your top priorities at that point.
This is great. The conditions for this have been just tremendous today. It's been temperatures in the 60s, as we mentioned earlier, but there was rain in the forecast all week leading up to this event. So we're really thrilled that held off, and it gives these skydivers a chance to do what they're doing, and this event to go off without a hitch, which it has so far. This has been just brilliant.
What if they collide in air? Well, that was close. Maybe they're just saying hi. They're just saying hi. They're like, you good, man? You good? I'm good.
Getting a really good GoPro shot right there is what they're doing.
Probably, huh? I mean, there's jumping out of a plane, and there's that, You were just talking about the weather. It was so sunny and lovely this morning, and now it's just getting a little bit frosty. You're welcome, Twitch chat. Thank you. It is actually getting a bit cooler.
These guys are amazing, and I'm assuming...
Are they going to land again on the barge?
They'll just nail it like they did earlier today.
How? How do you jump out and then that's where you land?
I don't know.
You know what? That's actually quite impressive. I would never do that. He's happy with himself. High five, my man.
He's happy with himself.
Crowd sure likes it. And there's another one coming in here hot. Going to give the other guy a little sec to clear out.
I bet you it's pretty cold up there.
That's like James Bond right there.
They look so out of control, but they're so in control.
Oh, in he goes. Oh, that's not a great landing. Oh, there it is. He pulled it off.
He did that slide-in method.
My plane landed like that, actually. Exactly like that. It came in at the wrong angle, but they managed to not kill us all. That's great. It's a good day. We're back now. When are you going to be jumping out of the plane there?
Is that happening?
That should be. I'm not sure why it hasn't yet.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, good. Good-o. Ivy, you're up too.
I'm down.
I'm strapped in. Otherwise, I would. I would.
This is actually what it looks like to jump from there. This is your city right here.
Oh, beautiful.
So we've got the GoPro. We were joking about the GoPro earlier, but they did have it. This is what it looks like. I could never do that.
My goodness.
My heart would have stopped at this stage.
St. Paul, I've never seen it from that angle, to be honest with you.
It's quite beautiful.
And St. Paul is a great Red Bull city. I mean, let's face it. In 2010, they hosted this event, Flugday, back here again in 2019.
I'm already
dizzy. Several years, St. Paul played host to Red Bull's Crashed Ice. And so this city has a lot of pride in partnering up with Red Bull. I know that for sure.
How does he not lose his guts? I'm dizzy just watching his point of view. How is he not emptying his entire breakfast out? Also, a local was telling me the structure and the design of St. Paul, it was founded by a bunch of drunk Irish people. And they were saying that's why it's such a mess. Oh, that was the near.
Oh, there it is. Okay, phew. And now you got to put on the brakes.
Smooth.
Now you got to right? Jeez.
Oh,
that's why they're the pros. And that's a fist pump in there as well. And he's like, please look at me. And he's like, okay. And he's like, me, there. Just like, so you guys know what happens with all the camera stuff. That's what the pointing's all about. We've got 2 camera guys pointing at the camera for us right now as well. That's a fascinating look at what skydivers do, huh?
And that camera person has to be like, please put on the brakes. Please put, yeah, right? I mean.
This is the team that you guys have been waiting for in the Twitch chat. It is 100 Thieves. We're some of your favorite streamers.
That one looks like it's actually going to take flight.
This actually is a nice streamlined design.
Yeah.
It looks quite professionally done.
And strong.
We've got a We know that Frosty is their pilot. And a poll just came up on the big screen there to take a vote. How far do you think he's going to be flying? What kind of luck do you think they have? Someone's saying Frosty's going to fly around the world. Wouldn't that be great? So they're getting ready. They look quite confident in their stance there.
Yeah.
And to me, Maud, like what I'm mostly in suspense for isn't how this thing is going to fly, but really is Avalanche going to jump in afterwards. That's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm just on pins and needles to see whether that'll happen or not.
Oh, here we go. This is what we're all waiting for. Is this going to be good or is this going to be cringe? That guy looks like he's... Oh, he's a fish. That's what it was. It could have... Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, they twins, I could tell that apart.
I would have just liked to watch them practice.
I got big stacks coming out the
Rehearsal.
I got Lil Max with me, he the way.
Yeah, that's just more than hot. That's more than a hot glue gun right there.
This is another team of
He looks
4.
pretty stoked. He doesn't look too nervous. Oh, Ava's hopping because his leg's so bad. Hey, look, that's nothing to be. That's not nothing to be disappointed over at all.
I thought it was going to scoot back up there for a second and have a heck of a lot more distance. And now here he goes. The moment of truth.
No. He said it. He said it. Ava, you walk back there. You have to jump off it. Oh, guys.
Oh, man.
You know what to do in the chat. That is unforgivable.
Yeah.
He broke a promise to us all.
Light him up.
He's talked the talk and he could not even walk the walk because he's hopping along there. You know what, though? Good on him. He's got a really sore knee. But he promised that he would jump in.
Should we cut him some slack? I don't know.
No.
I don't know if we should. I think you're going to see some really low scores here because
they look really somber, don't they?
To me, the dance and the performance, the skit, if you will.
Oh, they don't even get a score because they're honorary.
Oh, that's right.
They're here for the good time, not the prize.
Got it. Well, the crowd likes it.
The crowd.
At least that
really
dude.
2 10s for that one. Right now, though, I do want to just remind everyone, if you are tuning in, this is the Flugtag. This is where heroes of the community get to build their own craft and they launch themselves off in the bid that they go as far as possible. But every craft that does go into the water, anything that breaks off, we do have a team on standby straight away to clear all the debris and make sure that the Mississippi stays absolutely clean and clear there. Ivy, so great to have you back.
Yes, thank you for having me.
I have a feeling you're going to join me at the desk here, actually, and I think we're going to send you out there to chat to some of the teams coming up, too.
I'll see where I'll try to get in their heads. Ivy did a great job of trying to figure out the inspiration behind some of these crafts. There are several teams still to go. I'll try to dig into that here as I go out and about.
I wonder what this team's all about. We've got a couple up there that looks like a purple dragon.
This is coming Yabba Dabba Doo. You'd like this one because it's part dinosaur, right? This is Dino, the dinosaur.
It makes a lot of sense because in the Flintstones, as you know, every time they drive a vehicle, there are not necessarily any, the engines to push it. They have to run themselves.
Yeah.
You also notice that when they do run, their hands don't move. That always bothered me a lot as a kid, and I'm not sure why. Well, there we go. If you are just joining us, though, we have had a bunch of different vessels go up in the air. That right there, Flying POS, our current leaders. Everyone doing pretty well so far, though. The hang glider effect really doing the best job. The DeLorean right there. So Yabba Dabba Doo up right now. There is actually Dino there, and this is the start of the cartoon. How long has the Flintstones not been on air for, though? Memories. That one, Yabba Dabba Don't happening right there.
Didn't even make it off the runway.
Oh, his team are shattered and they're not even hiding it. But I think they're going to jump in the water, so today is not an absolute loss for them. Oh, dear. Wham bam, no thank you, ma'am. But in they go.
Aw, that's great.
Oh, look, Cranky says it's a 10 out of 10. Oh, dear. As you can see, that cleanup crew coming in straight away with their nets. They are picking up all the debris for that one. This was supposed to be a pterodactyl, but it's just a bunch of terror. It didn't even get up there. I don't think we've actually seen that today so far. Our next team, though, number 22 out of 38 for the day, the Moonshine MacGyvers. They're a local team from Minnesota. They're a group of mechanic engineers who've collectively built multiple machines, including a carbon fiber electric solar boat, a motorized picnic table boat. They know what's up. Oh, no, I have a feeling these are going to be the worst scores of the day.
A 1.
There's been some sympathy votes there with the 7 and the 6, and a 1, 2, 3.
And a 1, 2, 3.
That shouldn't be happening, if you ask me. I feel like if the majority of the flying part of your craft doesn't actually go anywhere.
Doesn't quite make it off the runway.
But as we know, it's not about the distance. That's not what makes up the entire score of the day. It's also creativity and showmanship.
And the skit.
Exactly. What do you think of their skit?
I actually really liked it, you know. They put in some good effort, and they had confidence. That was what it was for me.
A for effort. Ivy Miller back right here in the hot seat.
Hello, gang. I'm back. I'm off with the gang, and we are here at the table.
How was it out there?
It was interesting. A lot of very dedicated people. A lot of very inspired Minnesotans. Passionate. So much passion.
Well, it's been 9 years since the last one was here.
Yeah.
The Flugtag.
It was interesting. I was asking them a few questions, you know.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
That's your job.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
And I was joking around. I was like, this one doesn't look like it's going to fly that well. And they're like,
oh, no.
Yeah, they were actually
Because the whole point of this was to fly. So by saying that...
Well, it looked like it didn't really have a chance, so I didn't think that would be the first time they've heard it, and so they were kind of devastated when I made that comment.
Oh, Ivy, I'm so glad that we are here just to give some truth bombs out there. But I think the funniest part about today is that the current leaderboard, I believe, is still being held by Flying POS, and it's the kind of team where it's like if you say that you're a POS straight off the bat, anything you do that's great exceeds expectations. You know? You got to set the standard to be really low and then blitz it at the moment. Right now you can see a team here.
Moonshine MacGyvers. MacGyver.
One time when I was a kid.
Now, moonshine is an alcoholic beverage, and chat wants to know if they have it there. Looks like they've been drinking it so much that their hair went white. There's a lot of fake moustaches for the Flugtag as well, I've noticed. What have they done?
You know, some of the greatest inventors of all time started as complete hopeless failures, too.
Did you just see that? Was that a little bit of rain?
Oh, yes, there's been rain on my head.
Good. Cool.
I only get one shot.
My favorite part about the sketches is that you can see all the buildings around in St. Paul there. They're all out on the balconies getting the best view in the house. Oh, at the moment we are getting Ava back in here. I've got a little bone to pick with him, so stick around and don't go anywhere so you watch me chew him out. That's not so bad. Look at that. He's happy. He's stoked. He's tapping his head.
He is A-okay. Hey, that was really good.
Yeah, there's a lot of foam board happening there. I feel
There's
like
a lot
that's
of
been
distance made, huh?
That's been the basic premise, I believe, for a lot of these crafts is the foam board there.
The foam board.
We saw that a lot in Party Wave as well, but they were standing on it instead of flying under it.
True.
Oh, all in caps says false rule, nailed the landing.
Nailed it. Look at this. They glide in ever so. Wow.
Was that device there? That's like a forward rudder. That's literally like an airplane where they were able to maneuver that to kind of like change gears there.
That's really impressive.
Take a seat, mate. You've done well on that one. Stoked. Straight up with the hand in the air.
Just mild whiplash, but he will be okay.
The scores are in right now, 9, 8, 8, 8. That's actually really, really well done.
Yeah.
I mean, the actual craft right there didn't look spectacular. It wasn't notoriously for brilliant design like we've seen with some of the other crafts, but that one was pretty good. Hey!
Hey, I'm back. I'm back.
Hey, remember earlier, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes ago where you promised?
I knew you would do this right as I came back.
You promised right there that you were going to jump in.
I was told by our producer that I was not permitted to go off of the edge of this.
That doesn't matter at all.
I'm sorry I lied to all the people back home in the Twitch stream. I wish I could have gone off the edge. I knew she would talk some trash, but hey.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but when you make a promise, you didn't even have to say that, but you went, I promise I will do it. You know what happens when you promise?
I'll do it right now. I'll go in right now.
Yeah, no, he talks the talk, this guy. How do you feel like your flight went?
We talked a lot of trash and didn't really get the results we wanted, but
you had to hop along there. How's your knee going?
my leg
You literally were hopping.
almost gave out. Like, no joke, almost gave out on the stream, but that's besides the point. There's always next year. I think we'll come back and we'll set the record, but that didn't go as planned. That
Yeah,
did
you
not
didn't
go as
quite
planned.
leg it, that's for sure. It was kind of fun to watch you just do your best hopping
This
along
mic is
there.
also kind of on my head because I
It
still don't know.
is. You're doing. No, just you're eating the mic right there. We're actually going to chat with Classified instead. You're out of here.
So you're getting rid of me.
Yes, absolutely. It's 100% because you didn't jump in the water. My goodness. All right, Classified, I guess, is coming in. We're going to swap out with that one. There's a lot of different... Get in here. Come on, buds. Here you go.
Get in.
There's some... All right, so this is obviously live right now on the Twitch stream. Hey, Classified, how's it going there? You got your mic on. Let's talk about how you felt your craft went.
Our craft, we started off strong, and then we went stronger, and it just fell straight down.
Yeah,
So,
that's usually what happens with these things.
yeah, but
Unless
honestly,
you've got a really good built craft, like
No,
one
yeah.
that catches that breeze.
but it
that's
went
happening.
way farther than we thought it would, so like it was really dope.
That's a win. That's
No, yeah,
fun.
for sure.
Completely. Look at you standing up there. You're so tall. How about we join you there so I can
No,
show
I could like crouch there.
Oh, it's all good. It's kind of nice to get up and have a chat. How long did it take you to build that, by the way? And how much did you actually do the effort and make some of the stuff?
All right,
Or did you let someone else do all the work?
Yeah, that's about it. I was gonna say we did absolutely nothing.
That makes a lot of
Here
sense.
we go.
But it was a very nice craft, so whoever built it, you got hands of a mastermind.
You don't even know the builder of it?
Probably Josh.
To be honest, I saw that thing and I was like, you know what?
That was schmick.
We might actually make some distance here. And it was like, no.
No, yeah, but like in all fairness, I thought we were gonna start off like running way farther than we actually did start off. We started like towards the end, so I was like, oh, I didn't really know that before we went up. What?
I'm kind of stumped by this whole thing. I don't know. I'm trying to be really lovely because this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity here. With the whole thing, though, well, do you think that Frosty made a good pilot and was he a wise choice?
Yeah, no, Frosty, out of all the pilots, like, we were thinking who weighs, like, less would go farther. So,
Yeah.
like, he's, like, he was the shortest and he weighed the less, so, like, he's the perfect pilot.
Ava's knee was absolutely busted, and I really do think it affected him when he was running through. Do you think that was a problem there? Oh, actually, this is our first all-female team, and they had no pilot. They just pushed their craft off. In she goes! What a legend! She did something that Ava couldn't even do.
Amazing.
But that was our very first all-female team that we've seen throughout this competition, and in they dive.
Woman power.
They are legends.
So no pilot there. But maybe that's, I mean, a pilotless flight is something that we haven't really gone through. Come on, in you go, in you go. Ooh. The hesitation was there.
Nah, yeah, it's
I
a
don't
pretty
think
deep fall.
Why didn't you jump in?
We had mics, well, we still have the mics on.
You want to just watch yourself there,
No,
son,
yeah, I
on
didn't
your
do
shirt.
it.
Watch it. Hui. Oh, I see. You've got a sound guy there. So that makes
No,
more
yeah,
sense because I was
yeah.
giving you guys a lot of heat for that one. I was just saying Ava's leg and knee is very much busted. Do you think that really played a pivotal role on why he didn't go so far? Because he had to hop to
No,
it.
yeah, I definitely felt bad that like his knee hurt, especially because he wanted to jump in the first place and he can't. It's a it's a leg first dive, so like you can't really do that with a injured knee.
So they say he got out of this one today. At the moment, though, we're seeing a couple of other themes here. There's a mosquito-based craft, and coming up right now, that is Drogon the Dragon. If you're a Game of Thrones fan, are you actually?
Yeah, I'm actually a big. I watched like throughout before the last season came out. I binge watched the whole thing like the month before.
Yeah. Right now, we do have Eric, who is with the team at Drogon, there to find out more about their craft.
Team Drogon, one of 2 dragon entries today. Omar, how we looking, man?
Oh, we're looking good and strong, baby.
Have you ever flown a dragon?
Never.
Never. Good luck. Hopefully it doesn't breathe fire. And by the way, this is the Starbucks cup, right? What are you?
I'm the blooper. I'm not even supposed to be here, but I'm still here. I still made it, you know?
Remember, they left the cup on. Yeah, you get it. Team Drogon.
That's actually a really good Tyrion. That's really well done. I mean, I could go on and on about Game of Thrones and how the finale made me absolutely sob.
Yeah.
Tears of disdain.
Wait, did you like it?
No.
Yeah, nobody. I was like...
Oh, that broke my little heart. I was championing that show the whole time. I did talk to those guys about what they thought of the finale. We're in the same boat, or craft as it is today. Now, Drogon is one of 3 dragons that Daenerys does have, and Drogon, I can't spoil it, but he's a rad dragon. But he's also the biggest and the baddest of the 3, so I'm wondering if that's going to help them with these guys. You see Jon Snow there. They don't have a Daenerys. They actually went ahead and chose to be the Starbucks cup instead because memes are life for some people.
I actually saw Daenerys. Like,
well, that's the thing.
yeah,
There's actually more than one Game of Thrones themed craft here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The other one had it. I was like, that was really cool that they added like the characters.
Funny story. The first time Ivy and I met was at a Halloween party, and I was in fact dressed as Daenerys Targaryen.
She sure was.
Even though you officially look like Daenerys Targaryen with your blonde hair and your dragons.
Then big eyebrows.
I didn't say it.
No,
but that is in actual fact exactly where I was going with that one. So are you kind of a bit bummed that you didn't have a themed craft? Because a lot of these, we had the DeLorean.
Not at all, honestly. Just because this is just a rare opportunity for us in general. So like we weren't really picky with it. It's whatever we got. We kind of just rolled with.
Oh, Tyrion's dead.
Oh,
Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones. Oh, this is like a action choreograph. And yeah, you're right. Everyone dies. This is really legit. This is canon right now. And even the Starbucks cup is getting a few shots in. All right, John. Tyrion's doing the worm. That's quite impressive.
You think it'll go far?
I really hope so because I love dragons.
No, yeah, it looks good.
Now, I was talking to Jon Snow about this, and he was saying that he actually raised funds from the community to help pay for this, which I think is very, very smart. That's why he's probably so happy.
Okay, here we go. I'm betting on
what
this
did I spoil? Oh, if you haven't seen it, you know.
Yes, look at the way he...
Whoa!
Yes!
Oh.
That was actually pretty
He did
cool.
it standing.
He
I don't think they had that
He
yet.
rode the air in that one. That's fantastic.
He
And the
surfed
whole
it.
team jumping in as well, which always gets bonus points because everyone who does it should actually, in fact, jump into the water.
I agree.
We had mics on.
Not going to let it go. Ever promised. He promised. But there you go. I'm used to disappointment, so that's all fine. Look at him, he's so happy, and as you would be, he literally did something that not many people have done before. He rode a dragon through the air.
I give him props for staying on it while it was
staying-
falling.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of people, they just kind of jump as soon as it starts falling.
The commitment
36
was
feet.
100.
Look, not the longest ride that we've had, but the chat already weighing in as judges. 10s. That's all going on there. Murphy 2D saying, I'm talking about jumping in so much that maybe I should. Oh, the score, 5-6, 9-8-6. Wow, usually
I would have
meat
expected
sauce.
higher scores.
Usually meat sauce doesn't actually provide favorable numbers, but that one, that's really great. And he's explaining his reasoning for that one.
That was a solid 8
Eric-
in my book, honestly. He might have not went too far, but it was like really creative.
Oh, it's fantastic. That was really that was showmanship for sure. Eric right now though is with the next team. This one, Buzzy the Mosquito, and someone in the chat earlier said that Buzzy, this one is rumored to have the best craft, and they are supposed to be going the furthest in this competition. Let's cross over to Eric. He caught up with the team.
Joe is from Brainerd, Minnesota. This is Buzzy the Mosquito. What's going to happen?
We're going to go the distance, at least 1,000 feet, probably clear the other side, and my pilot's going to only get wet when he swims back.
You're from Brainerd, Minnesota. There's a bunch of mosquitoes up there, right?
We have the largest state bird in Minnesota, the mosquito, and there's lots of swarm of mosquito that's going to chase.
Can we get rid of this? All right, that's it. I'm done with you. Back to you guys.
That sounds really exciting there. The mosquitoes, usually they're an absolute pest. In Australia, we call them mozzies. Because why would you say the full word mosquito ever? I mean, that's a
Mozzie.
It's a no-brainer. Yeah, the Aussie Mozzie, you know what's up.
Mozzie.
But I mean, after hearing that this team, there was a radio segment on the local stations over here in Minnesota. This was the group to watch here. They're apparently created by a group of North Point aviation peeps in the hope to work together using their skills to create a man-powered machine. So these guys actually really do have the brains to get behind and make a craft that does float. What do you think of this one? Look at it.
Honestly, like whoever said the announcer, this is probably planned to be the best one yet.
Yeah.
So I really hope it lives up to expectations.
Alrighty, well, apparently mosquitoes do sting, so let's see if this one's going to hurt or if this one's going to soar, because mosquitoes do have wings. Oh, there's a lot of puns to go with on this one. I'm ready to get it happening. Did we see the skit? Are we going to get the action? They're just right behind me. They're just right there. You can see it. That's where the pontoon is. How cool is that?
I'm excited. That one structure looks pretty legit.
Do you know how many times I've said platoon when it's a pontoon?
We don't have many mosquitoes in LA, so I wouldn't really but I
We
don't
don't really, do
No.
we?
It's mostly crickets. I don't know why it is, but it is.
Well, I mean, I'm from Australia, so there's so many different types of mosquitoes.
Oh, you
there.
guys have spiders.
Look, in the chat, because I'm talking about, everyone jumping off and that it's a lot of fun and everyone should do it because it's a part of the whole experience. Ivy, would you do it? Would you jump off? Yeah, the chat wants to know.
Oh, yes, I would jump off. However,
I'm not gonna.
It's pretty cool. It's getting colder today, you guys. I think I just got a little rain on my shoulder here.
It's getting a bit chilly. I've got a jacket that I made.
The sun is no longer out, so it's kind of like, do we
I actually
need
really
to-
like the song choice for this one because they're from the Fly family. Did you get it?
Yeah, that's good.
I actually like their costumes as well. That actually wouldn't go amiss at Comic-Con.
Buzzy the Fly.
Oh, look at this one. You know what? I'm thinking if a lot of these crafts had a higher...
Oh, they're riding on top. They're riding it like a mechanical bull. Or a mechanical mosquito in this case.
Wow, look at him go.
That is a flaccid nose.
Oh, he pulled the lever, Kronk.
Wowee. Oh, the head didn't make it.
Hey, but you know what? That
On
one
impact.
stayed together pretty well for the most part, I must say. Look at them all.
Mafia249
Reluctant.
saying this is going to flop. I don't know if it was an actual flop. I don't think that was so bad.
Nah, he went pretty far.
It was a nice cruise. And in they all fly. The Mozzies made it. Good on him. Oh no, he lost his head. What a legend. Holding on to that one. It actually glided. Yes, Monkey Meatloaf. It actually did. Oh, E. Wiley 347. Does Classy smell good? I don't know. You tell me.
Smell myself?
Yeah. Do you
Yeah, I
smell
smell pretty good, yeah.
There it is. He smells pretty good. Glad you asked. They absolutely crushed it. The Buzzy the Mosquito getting 60 feet. That is actually really great.
Yeah, it really leveled out towards the end there. Brought it back up.
The world record, I do believe, is 253 feet. So that is what we need to beat. So that's a quarter of what it was. Yeah, look, 60 feet. The chat's going off about that one. That's pretty good. Especially someone who said that they were going to
wow,
flop.
look at
that
those
is our
scores.
first 10 of the day. 10, 8, 8, 9, 8. That is absolutely fantastic.
That's
10 being a
amazing.
perfect score. Did you feel that that was a perfect craft
No,
and a
honestly,
perfect flight?
Yeah, 60 feet isn't that the record? 57 was the highest, no?
Oh, of the
Well,
day?
of the day. I'm pretty
I
sure
was
they
like,
beat it of the
oh,
day.
honey, no. It's 253
No,
is the
no,
world
I'm
record.
pretty
See,
sure
I
of the
can't
day
even
was 57.
fathom that. Seeing from today, how does 253 feet, what would that look like?
It's basically like a hang glider.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, capturing
Okay.
it and just soaring and not stopping. And of course, all these ones, if they don't catch any of the wind, and if like the marksmanship or like whatever you want to call it, something that's quite aeronauty dynamical
A
engineering.
lot of factors.
That's not my world.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, wind is a huge factor.
We are talking about the world record that was 253 feet. This
Yes.
happened in Long Beach in 2013. Not only, that's quite a good choreographed skit there. That's not bad at all. That team, the Chicken Whisperers, happening. So this is what 258, sorry, not even 53, 58 feet
Oh,
looks
good.
like.
We get a replay.
Oh my gosh, there was a double run. He actually just jumped up.
Wow, look at the way that worked out for
Wow,
them.
it just doesn't stop. You can see the
That-
difference now between what we saw with Buzzy the
Oh
Mosquito.
my
Still
gosh!
going!
That's
Still
insane.
going!
Wow! Holy
Hot damn.
smokes.
Before that, I believe the record was 207 feet, so they absolutely wiped out of the water. The guys from Workaholics there judging. Why would you pick up a 3?
103.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That makes more sense. I was like, that's just cruel otherwise. Holy guacamole, Stunter is saying. Thick Biscuit, get away from the keyboard with that. say, Dean saying that could have been Frosty. It could have been your team, but that is the difference there between absolutely gliding.
No, yeah, that man went way too far.
And what you had. Maybe stick to streaming, yeah. But I mean, you're branching out. You're doing something else in life.
This was a
which is
really fun
fantastic.
event, once in a lifetime opportunity. We couldn't miss it, so we flew out here. It was fun. Hey, next year we might even come back and obviously do way better than we did now.
Hey, that wasn't so bad. You weren't
No,
the
it was
worst
our first
team on
time.
the day
We weren't
at
even
all.
sure what to do in the first place.
In fact, there is no such thing as the worst team, is there?
No, yeah, because a lot of them were like even just way more creative than the others.
And did you know that 800 teams submitted an idea and only 38?
800?
Yeah,
Wait,
only 38 got approved for this one. For those that don't know and were born way after the 80s, this is actually from a movie called Ferris Bueller's Day Off. It's in the top 5 movies of all time, especially if you ask me. And Ferris Bueller was played by Matthew Broderick. The movie came out in 1986, I believe. But this whole thing is based on that movie. This is Cameron's dad's car, which got absolutely totaled in the movie, and they're using that for inspiration. Looks like a bunch of foam board on the top there, so let's see if that's actually going to do anything. Also, where's Sloan? This is BS. That's an in-joke, again, about the movie. And Save Ferris is the entire theme of the movie because he has a day off. Hey, Classified, you've been absolutely great helping us out. Comment on some of the different crafts happening here. We're going to say goodbye to you. Join your teammates again. Tell Ava I want a word with him. He knows why.
Okay.
I'm going to keep blaming him. Who knows?
Wow,
The day's
look
still
at
not
that
over.
one.
Oh.
It really made some distance.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Let's see that one again. I'd love to check out the replay happening. Look at this crowd as well.
63 feet, Mon.
What?
Wow. Is that the record of the day?
Dankeschön. Darling Dankeschön. Again, that's a quote from a movie. I feel like anyone under 30 is not going to understand a lot of this. Whoa, he's just sitting on top of the world there.
He's on an esky, isn't he?
Hey, esky. Australian for a cooler.
Honestly, the landings look a bit painful.
.63 feet. The scores are about to come in from the judges right there.
And wow.
9, 10, 10, 9.
Very impressive.
10, 9. 3 10s.
That's what you like to see.
That's fantastic. The highest scores of the day. 3 10s and 2 9s for that one. Now, you had a chat with the Safe Ferris team, didn't you?
Yeah, they were fired up. Principal Rooney was a little bit of a problem, but like everybody else was good to go. And you think back on that iconic scene from the movie where they drive the Ferrari through the glass and it goes
my goodness.
flying. That flew way better than the Ferrari in the movie.
And it
Am I
went
right?
the right direction, too.
Yes.
That's pretty good. All I
Yes.
want to say is, bump, bump. Have you ever seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off? Or are you just
I
smiling
have.
through this right now?
No, I've seen it.
I've seen it.
Just go with it.
That was cute. Keep talking. But here we are. We're watching the replay again. Oh, it was in reverse. They
Nice.
actually did make the car backwards. That's authentic
So
to the movie.
detail-oriented. I really like that.
Yeah, they're absolutely thrilled with that one there. And they should be. 63 feet is a feat in itself, right?
My goodness.
That's the record of the day, isn't it?
I think so. Actually, we'll get confirmation for that one, but I believe 63 feet, I mean, it's certainly up there. The fact that they got 3 10s, though, means that the skit was good. It means the craftsmanship, the showmanship, all of that is, like, way up there.
Yeah, it's really cool. I really like that one. Out of all the crafts we saw today, that one was most committed and on brand, I feel like. For me personally, in my opinion.
Oh, I get it, though. I was just saying that Ferris Bueller's Day Off is in the top 5 movies of all time. Do you
Has
agree?
to be.
Yeah,
Absolutely has to be. Yeah. And you think about that scene where the valet guys get it and, they come over that jump. That's kind of what that
we
was.
saw
It was
as
just like,
well.
yeah, that slow-mo kind of whoa.
Putting the miles on the vehicle.
I love that.
Vehicle.
All right, we've got the next one coming up right now. That looks like a giant s'more, if I'm not mistaken. I tell you what, it's called Small Problems.
Hey.
Already you get points for puns in my book.
Nice.
Small Problems are a team of architects, 2 engineers, and 2 guys who just are really good at supervising hope.
Wow, this better fly.
They hope to bring giant s'more and camping scenes to life. They are obviously like camping, but we did catch up with this team. Here's what they had to say about their craft. Oh, we're going to go live to them. I think we've got someone right there. They got the skits happening. So you've got the graham cracker, you've got the chocolate. All imperative. And I believe that guy dancing in the back is the marshmallow.
And the pilot, I'm told.
He looks very unsure about life. That's an unsure s'more.
Oh, look at him
There
go.
you go.
Oh.
There goes the chocolate and the graham crackers.
That's a proper s'more.
Yep.
Now, how do we feel about this one taking flight?
Are they going to go
It's just not a lot of
more or
confidence.
less than what we've seen?
Not a lot of confidence.
Would you get into an airplane that looked like this?
This is, you know, they can only be 10 feet high. I feel like this one's just probably right on that border.
That's the biggest s'more I've ever seen.
This is tall.
You know what? Take a point off because the marshmallows have not actually melted a little bit considering the amount of fire that's there. So, kidding. Hey, the chat wants to know from Ivy and you, Eric, what's been your favorite craft so far? Oh, it's split in half, that s'more.
I really liked the Teddy Roosevelt one.
Oh, yes, I believe it's, what is it, Teddy on a Stick?
Teddy on a Stick, where they were really, they committed to their character really good, and the showmanship was really beautiful as well.
Oh, and that's important there.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite?
I just loved seeing the mosquito sort of go from full-on, design and then execution and putting it together with the ride that they had. And the mosquito is considered the other state bird aside from the loon here in Minnesota because they get so big.
Ooh.
My gosh.
He was just in air the entire time.
Wow.
That's a wet marshmallow now.
For me, my favorites are always ones that really involve pop culture. So we've seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off, the DeLorean. That's actually not bad for the scores. A 7 and 8 and 8 and 8 and a 7 there. That's pretty good. I feel like the judges are getting a little bit more lenient the further we go on there. We've got another one coming up, of course, back to back. There's a bunch of, are they possums, I believe? There's something happening there.
Okay, so I'll break this one down for
Yep.
you. This is like the St.
need
Paul
that.
raccoon, which was sort of a viral sensation last year,
But
if you
of
remember.
course.
It was a raccoon. I don't know if it was rabbit or not, but it scaled the entire face of a downtown St. Paul skyscraper.
No
That happened
way.
here.
Yeah, that was here.
You actually got to chat with the team about it, so let's have a look at how that went.
Last year, St. Paul got on the viral map when a raccoon did something crazy.
Yes, there was a raccoon that climbed the UBS building and it trended. It went viral. It went crazy.
And so you guys are paying tribute to said raccoon with the Raccoon Flying Mobile.
We definitely are. We got to support our raccoon family, and we're paying tribute to the NPR raccoon.
There it is, and I think this is the key to the whole thing. This is true aerodynamics right here.
And I love the trash bin. What are they, shields that they're rocking there as well? That's fantastic. Well, if this raccoon can climb that high, surely they're able to fly that high. Who knows?
We've got potential here. I mean, and if you look at the craft itself, it's not as like high tech, but I got a sneaking suspicion this one's going to do pretty well.
I love that we've got teams that are getting lined up already, but they're trying to build up their audience support too.
Audience support. And when the People's Choice Award.
Yeah, that is absolutely happening as well. If you have a favorite, because we were all just discussing what ours are, head to Red Bull Flugtag so that you can cast your vote for the People's Choice Award. Whoever wins that one actually gets a pretty rad prize, so it's definitely worth making that vote count. There's so much effort that's been put into all of these crafts here, so if you do have a favorite, hey, especially ones that maybe were a little bit earlier on, where they weren't getting as higher votes because they had nothing to compare it to, maybe give them a little bit of love.
And we're getting down to it now. I mean, we're on the tail end. I mean, there's a tail end like raccoon tail, but like we're getting to the point where like it's push come to shove time now, and these teams know what the bar is right now, at least as far as distance goes. They know what they have to do to be even in contention for this thing.
And speaking of push comes to shove, Flying POS is still in the lead at the moment for distance, which is my personal favorite team because it was a flying turd that was happening there. They actually built a giant feces, but it flew. Man, that thing just flew.
I think there were multiple feces, actually. I mean,
It was stacked on. It really was. Like, someone really had to make quite an effort to get that amount happening at once. But it is time for the skit right now. This is the St. Paul Raconteurs. That's a pun in itself. A hard one to say, an easy one to love.
Look at them go.
I believe the event happened on, Cedar Street in the 7th Southwest?
You nailed it. How'd you know? Oh, never mind.
Talk about an inside joke, huh?
They've all got the tails, too.
I
didn't
think
realize
that's really important.
Yeah.
Are you really a raccoon if you don't have the tail?
No.
Hey.
They're just, Man, they're in trouble here, though. Aren't
How do
they?
you think this one's going to go? Usually anything that's kind of blocky like that, they're riding on the building.
Seems a bit flimsy, but also that raccoon made it pretty far up that building.
That paper-mache raccoon head is something. It's a lot better than anything I could do, and that's saying a lot because it looks like it's been through some sad times.
And you're going to watch this tail is going to shoot out and become the rudder for the entire craft. Oh, maybe not.
Is it? Bit of a spill happening there, but you know what? He's stoked. I believe he actually, instead of doing the rock sign, he did the
Shaka.
He did. It was a shaka. Is it also I love you?
And now they're swimming to safety. And again, this cleanup crew has done such an amazing job throughout the course of this competition in getting these things cleaned up and done so in a swift manner so that the next team can get up and get off. And again, we're seeing.
It is actually a surfboard. So he was trying to ride the air like it was a wave.
Why not? I mean, the raccoon hung on for a long time on that building. Now let's see these scores. Pretty
average.
Pretty middle of the road, right, Maud?
That is a 5, a 5, a 6, a 5, and a 6. That's wonderfully average there. Look, we are past the halfway mark for today's Red Bull Flugtag. So with that, we're going to take a little break. We will be back absolutely shortly to see if anyone can top the flying POS for today's crafts.
You love saying it.
So much.
Yeah.
The Flaming Dragoon right there. Welcome back. You are watching a Red Bull Flugtag. Not bad scores, quite average. That was a beautiful looking dragon, but that splash and impact that it made into the water is probably less than ideal for Daenerys Targaryen, Mother of Dragons, Breaker of Chains.
I think we've established that dragons really aren't flying too well here in St. Paul on Harriet Island into the Mississippi River. And winter is coming. I sure hope not, because that means like this river is going to freeze over. And
I know, it's chilly. The snap's coming in. We had to put jackets on right here. It's a very different story to this morning when it was so sunny and beautiful. But we are more than halfway through the list big time. We've only got about 9 to go, I believe. So let's have a look at some of the best we've seen during the day. I believe the winners still are Flaming POS that you can see right there. It looked like an ice cream cart, but it's a toilet.
Yeah.
And then they detach, and look at that. That right there getting the furthest distance so far.
Really phenomenal. It's just that just so overachieved and exceeded all my expectations for what a flying POS could do.
I'm a little bit concerned though why they felt the need for the orange, yellow, and red the design on the craft. What that was needed for.
Yeah, right. I mean, almost inappropriate. Go figure. With
What
a
do
group,
you need it for?
Yeah, with a group like
Hey,
that.
Ivy, it is a bit chilly now, isn't it? It's getting a bit cold, frosty, one might say.
Yeah,
so
it's
we've got
a
you
bit
back
chilly,
here as well.
a bit colder. You know, they put me in a flannel, and now I'm feeling a bit better.
Now you're looking. I know this isn't your hood, but you're looking very Minnesotan.
Really?
Right now. Yes.
Minnesota.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You betcha.
I actually have noticed that there's a few of the different ones where there are lumberjacks in there.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Right now, though, flying aces here.
And this is you love these pop culture ones. This one's right up your alley too. This is Peanuts, obviously. And we should mention that Charles Schulz, the creator of the Peanuts cartoon strip, is from St. Paul. So this is definitely a local flavored craft. And Snoopy is the pilot with Woodstock leading the way. Here we go. Let's see if this Peanuts craft, the Red Baron,
Ouch. You know what? Maybe he's I'm sorry, someone's walking around with a goose.
I just saw that.
I'm sorry, this is really important right now, obviously, and the whole team jumping in as well. Good on you, Charlie and co. But yeah, there's a man walking around holding a goose. You'd think you'd seen it all. There's some great crafts coming up, though. I do love the Snoopy kind of vibes going. But again, I think they tried and harnessed the plane in that, but it didn't quite fly.
Yeah, Snoopy flew the Red Baron a lot better than that in the cartoons that I remember. And poor Woodstock. I think everybody's been recovered but the little yellow bird so far.
No.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
We actually had to stop this man walking with his goose. Look, it's like when you have the dog and you put the dog near water and it does a little flippy thing with its feet. What's he doing? Why have you got a goose? Is it a common pet in Minnesota?
It is not a common pet in Minnesota. And I think, though, there's the scores for the Flying Aces, which are pretty decent scores. I think
6, 6, 9, 8, 7.
Thematically, it was fine. And I think what we're seeing with this goose is sort of almost like a precursor to what we're about to see on the launch pad.
Some more geese.
A duck, if you will.
Ah.
Right?
Yeah.
So this is
ducker.
Yeah, this is Quacky Chan that is coming up next here on Red Bull Flugtag.
Now, Quacky Chan, unlike any other team, has a hype squad. So they have someone on board to literally get the audience pumped and psyched and to quack along with them.
Yeah, I've been hearing that duck call far too much today. But you got to appreciate the enthusiasm out of these guys.
And I wonder, the question is, can Quacky Chan? Can Quacky Chan?
Is that like how much wood can a woodchuck
Yes.
cut? Okay.
Yes, thank you. Good.
Is it true if you are in front of a duck when it hatches, it will follow you around?
Oh, because it's your mama.
Yeah.
I love it in the chat right now. Halo Nen says, why doesn't he have a goose? And, that's a question we should have been asking instead. You are right, Halo. You can take my job.
Right,
If you'd like to. Honk says Monkey Meatloaf. There's a bunch happening in the chat that I'm reading right now. STS2884 says they are nasty animals.
They're not nasty, but they can get aggressive at times if you threaten them, I guess. But this is the first iteration of a duck. We saw duck, gray duck, and Duck Duck Goose go off earlier today. I think they were the 6th or the 7th ones out of the gates today.
Yes.
And they didn't fly very well. So we'll see if this Quacky Chan can fly a little bit better.
There's that poor goose.
Gosh.
What is happening? It is just wiggling its little legs like it's trying to run away, but it cannot. The life of a goose. That's what happens, I suppose. And geese don't even quack. They honk.
Right.
Honk,
Wasn't that the name of one
Fantastic.
of our on the Twitch stream there? Didn't we hear somebody named Honk?
No, that's probably what they were doing for us.
Yeah.
Probably just what they were saying. Never buy a single duck. If they live alone, they get really sad.
Aww.
Thank you for all those tidbits. We are actually currently getting rained on. Hey, Eric, do you want to do a little bit of a weather report right now?
Slight drizzle. It was like a 40% chance of precipitation today, and so this is that 40% coming to fruition.
It has actually been quite an adventure leading up here because we've been, very, very kind of like fixated on what the weather was going to be like today. It did say it was going to be rainy, and then it stopped, and then this morning it was sunny, and there was no chance for rain. So does this always happen? It's unpredictable?
Yeah, it's very unpredictable here in Minnesota. But
we just saw a man with a goose.
Yeah,
So.
but does this really hurt anything? No, these guys are all going in the drink anyway, right? So might as well just get a little pre-wet.
Good point. And the colder it gets here, the warmer the water gets too. So that's quite nice if you're jumping in. Did we figure out if you're going to go in or not?
I don't want to go in.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
I really
It's
appreciate your
raining.
honesty.
Please.
That actually doesn't help your cause though, because if it's raining anyway, you're not so scared about getting.
Let's
getting
get
wet.
you in there, Maud.
Okay. I'm not going to promise it though. That's the difference between everyone.
Yeah, me neither.
Here we are, Cracky Chan from North Dakota. If you don't know it, that guy at the back, he does have one of those kind of. Oh, thank you, Tidex Pants, saying, I hope this duck doesn't run afoul.
I just got that. Wow.
It's better than me. I'm kind of angry. Why did I read that out? You're making me look bad, bud.
All right, I think that's a mallard for what it's worth. I think that's the male version of the duck. I don't know what it is worth, but aren't the green
I think you're
heads?
right. I think you're right. That's a mallard.
Yeah. Oh, the wings actually work.
Wow. This man is riding that male duck.
Yes. Oh,
oh
dear.
no, he didn't mean to. Oh no! Don't
head
look at the duck.
broke.
No one needs to see that it's pink inside. It is showing its brains. That duck has just split. Oh dear! And look, we've got the cameras getting rained on as well. This is a wet situation.
That is a long drop into the water. From
It
that
really is.
platform.
Do we know how high that is?
Oh, that's a great question.
That's
You
a
should find out and jump.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. It's a tremendous plunge.
The problem is, Ivy, if we were supposed to do it, Erica or I, we're so tall that if we jump, we actually have to fall a greater distance.
I think
that's how it works.
I don't think that's how it works.
And there is
Are
when
you measuring from the head?
The duck's skull just absolutely opens on impact. Here we're going to see one of the most graphic things. Do not show Peter this because that is just duck demolition. Ugh. Why did they have to make the interior pink? Did they want it to split open?
Here's what's
I am
cool.
haunted by that.
And yeah, that's the kind of scores we were expecting to see with
don't-
Cracky Chan.
You don't get scores from the judges with duck pate there.
But keep in mind when you see these scores that this is the husband portion of this 1-2 punch, if you will. This next team that is up are the wives of the team that just went off. And so, this is sort of like a competition happening here.
awesome.
And this is Ode to Grumpy Cat, wanting to compete against their husbands, the Quacky Chan team. This all-women group hopes that their craft will one-up their hubbies.
And I feel like we really should pour one out for Grumpy Cat. He was the world's most famous cat that did survive a long life until this year when he sadly passed, which means Grumpy Cat's owners can no longer mooch off their pet for an extreme amount of funds. It's a really sad day for everyone, really.
It's an interesting fact.
As we're seeing some of the other teams getting ready, now we're seeing...
Oh, look at them go. Wow.
Ooh, what have we got happening? It's all happening behind us right now. I think there was a flashback for another skit that was taking place. This team, Ode to Grumpy Cat, they are building what looks like a hopefully successful hang glider there.
I feel like that's
I heard
the
that
winning.
wins.
Well, no, it just looks flimsier. You know, you get to see some of these things when you're walking around out and about, and you can see just how much time and effort have been put into some of these things.
Or
You
lack
saw-
thereof.
Exactly, and I think that's what we're dealing with here, Ivy.
Maybe they're here for a good time, not a strong time.
I don't know. For me, I thought the hang gliding technique would have been the winning.
You'd think.
Technique. Because, like they said, they're measuring it based on how far the person goes.
Now, this one they're seeing right now, this one makes me incredibly nervous because this is a design like we haven't seen. That the propellers actually there do rotate.
Really?
Yeah, in a bid that it's going to hopefully soar from that. I don't know if it's going to happen, but we will see more on them in a little bit. I believe they're carpenters, so who knows? But Ode to Grumpy Cat, I believe we're just stalling a little bit. Maybe they're just having a few words to build confidence.
Folks are fired up here, though. This has been a great crowd in St. Paul. They've turned out today. Despite a little bit of a drizzle, they're still all here, pumping it up, getting behind these awesome contestants that have really, really just done amazing things just to get to this point where they're competing in Red Bull Flugtag.
Now, we did have a little bit of an explore. There is a giant field where all of the crafts are set up in a dedicated space, and the amount of hot glue guns, drills, a bunch of different things that I was seeing that people were working on in the 11th hour makes me a little bit nervous. All right, these women are ready now. They don't look so grumpy for an Ode to Grumpy Cat. They're supposed to do the pose.
Oh, just wait for that. That'll happen.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, there she is. Oh, she's stamping over. That is an adult tantrum. Can confirm. I've done that many a time.
Which part?
The stomping of the feet.
Oh.
Yeah.
What an interesting activity. As wives and husbands, it seems fun.
These folks are from North Dakota, which neighbors Minnesota here.
There's Grumpy Cat painted on. That's actually really great. Really well done.
Oh, man. Elegance.
Please be safe.
She has a tail. We're good.
Oh, they're the hubbies watching.
They're so proud.
Look at the love in their eyes.
They're
Not
so
their
proud.
eyes. Grumpy Cat's sad eyes.
They're so
Look
proud.
at her go. Look at her.
But
she is
secretly,
ready.
Yeah, that's actually a good stance.
Secretly,
Look
they
at that
do
power
not want to be
stance.
bested here by their wives as far as
But
distance goes. I
feel
think
like they might be.
we'll see.
Here we go.
Oh, the Grumpy Cat.
Oh, I feel like she needed to do a jumping.
Needed a little bit more speed for their takeoff to get that trajectory. But I tell you what, it was like quite a nice, pleasant landing.
Yeah,
the husbands
if
are
one
proud.
could be.
Yeah.
But they are. Quacky chain waving on. Oh, they're just not so happy with that. They're grumpy
Well, yeah,
in
they're-
true
that's-
form.
Yeah, that's how they roll, right? I thought that was a decent flight altogether. I'll be interested to see what the judges say on this.
Ivy, what's your best Grumpy Cat impersonation? Eric, can you top that? Not bad, guys. I'm just looking for a little bit more sourpuss, if that's actually something.
Here it is again, a look at it. Again, you've got to have an exit strategy, but she didn't really need one. She just kind of just held on, and it held up.
21 feet, can confirm that is further than their husbands.
Bam!
Awesome.
Look, I don't like it when it's battle of the sexes, but hey, there are some serious bragging rights right there.
A bit hard to get out from under that one.
Oh, she's safe and her ears are intact, which is great. The score's coming in right now from the judges.
Did they
6,
beat their
6,
husbands?
8, 7, 6.
Those are better scores than the hubbies too. Yeah,
Nice.
no
Girl
doubt.
power once again.
For sure.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, hey,
Quacky Chan, you know?
bottom line, here's the deal. We've got this is the craft that I went out and talked to these guys, and I when I talked to them, I was just looking at their craft, and it's Beetlejuice. Okay, it's inspired once again by a movie here, and this is Beetlejuice 2. And the wings, if you really look at this craft, you'll see the wings. We've seen you can be 24 feet wide with your aircrafts out here. This one, the wings are probably about this big, and I'm not lying.
It's not happening. No, this is absolute showmanship here. I do not believe they think they're going to fly at all. This creature, though, is a giant snake with another snake in its mouth. My friend just got this tattooed on her arm. She's such a big fan of this.
Wow.
I actually had to take photos, and I put it all up on my Instagram with a bunch of other different crafts here. I think this one's absolutely going to just dunk into the water. But who knows? I've been wrong already.
And this is one of the longer ones. They're allowed to be 20 feet long from nose to tip or from nose to tail. And
Oh,
I've seen,
wow.
yeah, this is going to be great. I'm excited for the showmanship, commitment to costume.
Oh. All right. Look, if you're just joining us, you're probably asking many, many questions right now on the Red Bull Twitch stream that we're doing live. But we are at Red Bull Flugtag. This is an event that's taking place right now in St. Paul of Minnesota. Basically, a bunch of different people got to submit ideas for their craft. And the best 38 were able to make it. They do a little skit to perform before they jump off the barge and try and go as far as possible. This team right now, though, they're just harnessing Beetlejuice, and this is called Beetlejuice 2, a team from Minnesota.
Don't say it 3 times, whatever you're doing.
Beetlejuice.
No, don't.
Why? What happens?
Have you not seen the movie?
No.
Okay. You basically awaken Beetlejuice, right? Here we go.
If you do want to say it in the chat, guys. We're on Twitch.
That was
fantastic.
Impressive.
I mean, Michael Keaton did play Batman, but he didn't fly in that case. So.
Oh, wow.
Whee! Wings are key. Yes, says Jacob in the chat right there. Monkey Meatloaf.
How do
saying
you get them?
splat.
That's what happens when you don't have wings right there. You just and what's crazy is that it looked like he then hit the craft as he was landing in the water, he also lands on part of the aircraft. But
it's just a worm, really, when you look at it. Oh, they're stoked anyway. The team's loving it, and that's the most important part of the day. We also have a People's Choice Award when it comes to these crafts for the Flugtag. If you do want to vote for yours, jump onto redbull.com, redbullflugtag.com. You can vote for your favorite there. There are a bunch of prizes up for grabs, so it's definitely worth getting involved with that one. 810-999. Now, for a craft that really didn't go very far, the fact that Beetlejuice flung himself off.
Really went the...
Flinged.
Definitely
no,
not
yeah, I think you're right.
Went the full 9 yards.
There you go. There you go.
It's
Again, you're seeing these high scores. I think a lot of these judges are basing their numbers on that showmanship and the costumes and the commitment to that.
I think you have to at this point.
Yeah, and that was a good production.
Really happening.
If you are just joining us, hi there. I'm your host for this Twitch stream. My name is Maud Garrett, and I'm joined by local anchor for NBC right now, Eric Perkins. This is your hood. This is where you live and learn, and filling me in on all the secrets of this town.
Yeah, this is a great town. Obviously, this is one of the Twin Cities right here, and this is the land of 10,000 lakes. Welcome to Minnesota, although today it's not about the lake, it's about the river, which is where we are. The Mississippi River is what splits Minneapolis and St. Paul. So that's how.
Know that.
Oh, yeah. So Minneapolis on one side, St. Paul is on the other. They're kind of rivals, but ultimately, we're together. We love each other.
And also joined by Red Bull's very own Ivy Miller. Ivy, let's talk about Ivy being Ivy.
Oh, yes. Hi, guys. Ivy being Ivy. It is a new show with Red Bull Surfing, starring me and my life being a stand-up comedian, surfer, and snowboarder.
And what episode are you up to? What just came out?
Episode 4, Costa Rica. And the last one is Puerto Escondido.
Oh, Puerto Escondido. That's in Mexico, right?
Yes, very South Mexico.
It's a good surfing break there.
Yeah, it's good. It's terrifying. Waves
I've never
are
done
horrifying.
She's fine with going in the water in Mexico, but I don't know. She's not.
Well, that's because it's like 80 degrees.
Oh, yeah, there's that. Yeah.
Well, what's the next one that we've got coming up?
So
after Beetlejuice, the Freedom Machine.
Yeah, so you know how you talk to a couple of the teams out there, and they spend a lot of time making. I talked to these guys. They say, how much time do you put into this? They said about 15 hours.
My goodness, that's actually not much when you break it down.
Really
isn't
not.
much.
Really
that's so
not.
American. I love it.
15 hours.
Hey, we were just talking about Ivy being Ivy. We've got a trailer for that if you guys want to check it out and know more about what Ivy was talking about with her own show. Here it is, Ivy being Ivy.
Right?
You're really going to go for it?
I've never done this before, but I really want to. Here goes nothing.
We've got Freedom Machine. If America could walk and talk, this is what it would look like, I believe. Are they trying to be a bald-headed eagle? Is that what that is?
Absolutely.
You might have to explain this one to me since I am not American.
This is full-on red, white, and blue patriotism at its finest. You see the eagle behind them, which looks eerily like the mallard we just saw, but I'm not going to criticize it. Here's the other thing.
That bird looks drunk.
When we were getting ready for our broadcast today, we saw a bald eagle fly over us, which was cool.
America!
Right? I feel like we should stand for this one. But here we. Oh no!
Whoa! They just red, white, and blew it.
You've been waiting to
yes,
shout that one, haven't you?
I was like, what happens if they were good? I can't use it. Oh, look, they're going in after. That's fantastic.
That's good teamwork.
Yeah, that's American too, I'm sure. Is it?
Yeah. Let's go with that. Sure.
Bro.
I'm glad he's all right. That looked like a kind of
stoked. Oh, please, let's look at this replay. I feel like that's an IKEA cart as well.
Geez.
He's holding on for dear life.
That's what you have to do in this kind of sport.
Oh, that's so great. That's so much better than mine. GGG Garden. Oh, I can't say your name. He said Americant.
Well, there you go.
Americant.
What's funny is that, like I mentioned, 15 hours of construction on that thing, and in 2 seconds, it's
Interesting
entirely ruined.
scores.
7, 5, 7, 6, 8. There you go, guys. Not so bad. I thought bald-headed eagles do fly. Someone was saying in the chat that that's just a metaphor for America right there. I didn't say it. I'm just merely passing on the message from the Twitch chat.
You're just reading the Twitch
That's
chat.
all I'm doing. What do you think that means, though?
All I know is you can't spell America without Eric, so that's where I stand.
Hey, I like
Hey,
Sorry, I'm sorry.
America.
Right now, we are looking at the top 3 of the day. This starts with Save Ferris. They're coming in the 3rd place right here with 63 feet. Ferris Bueller takes off.
He actually had the exact same vest that Ferris had.
Yeah.
That was brilliant, I thought. I didn't see Cameron with the Red Wings jersey, but I assumed he was in there somewhere. Yeah, he's in the back. I see him now. Wow.
Yeah, look at that. He's just slowly sitting on the water, isn't he?
Great jump. And again,
You'd
you
be
said
happy
that
with that one.
That was 3rd?
This is the 2nd place at the moment.
I like
Beetlejuice
this one.
Not going very far at all, but their craft is sweet.
Oh,
and that guy
Did
got
he hit
air.
on the way in?
And my favorite team of the day, still in 1st place, the Turd Burger itself, flying at POS with 57 feet. I've never seen a poop so beautiful.
It really was. Just really kind of a firm flight, and a lot to be proud of right there.
It'd be sad if that one wiped out, though, or just wiped.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Okay, I want to talk about this one. This is called Minneapolis Flies, and this is basically there's this thing called a mini apple pie, which is an apple pie, but it's sort of like
Mini?
Well, yeah, exactly. And this is another one of these iconic foods that we've seen. We've seen the tater tot hot dish out here today. We've seen the Juicy Lucy fly off the platform, and this is the mini apple pie, which is another really, really hot dessert here. And the 4 forks behind what is the apple. The guy in the red and green is I'm told, the apple. The rest can just fork off. They are definitely into it here on their skit.
Forked. If you are watching on Twitch, we are, well, yeah, because this is the only place this is living. We've got a poll up there right now. We just showed you the top 3 places. Which one do you think should win, or do you have absolutely no idea?
All right, this is the key moment where they have to get in. And I looked at, they used a lot of duct tape on this.
This is an interesting design. It's a bit thicker, so I'd be interested to see if can it take flight.
Well, the apple pies, apple flies.
I think this guy detaches from. Yeah, he does.
Oh!
Okay.
Oh, Schadenfreude.
Hung up there on the exit.
Oh, Jacob, I wish you didn't write "this looks promising" straight before they took off, but hey, you know what?
The forks look disappointed. I don't know.
They forked off for sure. Oh dear. Fork nose, says Sarasota Pop. Thank you for catching on with that joke, and let's explore every single angle we can take that one. Let's eat it all up. Oh no, apple plop. Pies for does. Only an Australian can rhyme that.
This is good. This is such good stuff. And again, we're just seeing such bravery. These folks are heroes. I mean, they're nothing short of heroes.
12 feet. That's our heights combined.
I'm not saying they're like, high-performing heroes, but they're definitely to come out here and do what they're doing on these crafts that they've never had test runs on, right?
Can I be a brat? That looks like a baked potato.
That's bad.
5-3, 1, 2, 3, ouch.
They didn't
Mid-sauce.
like that.
It's not his first one that he's thrown out at the moment there. Look, the news is with this, there's only 2 crafts to go in Red Bull Flugtag for 2019. Only 2. We've had such a strong first place this entire day, but it's not over until icing, I guess you could say. The poll's happening right now. At the moment, we've listed out the top 3. Which one do you think should win? And of course, there is a People's Choice vote. Jump onto redbullflugtag.com. Vote for your favorite one. There are prizes up for grabs, so make sure you put that vote in, because these guys put in the effort. All you have to do is vote, and someone could win, which is pretty cool. Also, can I just call him out? I'm sorry, but SkyMoz, stop hitting on Ivy in the chat, would you? Cut it out.
Hey, you know what? I gotta get it somewhere,
If you're
Maud.
gonna flirt with her, learn her name. Girl on the left.
Hey,
I guess what we're trying to say is let Ivy be Ivy, right?
Yeah, hey, if you haven't already checked it out, it's on Red Bull Surfing YouTube. The new show. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, episode 5 happening, I believe. 4, 5, 4? So
somewhere
this is the flirteuse. I can't say it.
This is
How
the
do you
one
say
you're
that?
worried about. I don't know. You nailed that earlier.
Flirteuse.
Flirteuse. So, I mean, there's got to be something happening here because these are co-workers and friends with a range of skills from carpentry to finger painting. Hey, everything matters. But apparently this one's inspired by a flower pot, and the main part of the craft will detach from this flower glider.
Oh, this is
so
brilliant.
that's going to detach there, the flirteuse.
They put a lot of thought into this, obviously, and we've seen, so many of the standard airplane type wings out here today as we go into the skit by Flugday. But this is the one that could be, if it works, could be absolutely genius because it could be like a helicopter if it actually holds up.
Do you believe they have what it takes?
Bees.
Are they all worth the hype and the buzz?
I'm saying yes. Bees. For some reason, I believe.
Will they bring home the honey?
Bees.
I'd be dandelion if I said that I think they'd win it, but who knows?
Now you can see it start to rotate. They're getting it spinning.
Yes.
They want to get it going before they get on the craft. And there's a couple designated spinners just to get that thing rotating. And she's going to get on there, and she's mounting it right now.
I don't think this is going to...
Come on. No, it needs to...
Oh! No! That was
Give
almost
them a high score because that was very entertaining.
And again, she's okay. We are all good. Nothing to see here, folks. Move along.
Oh, the team's just like, what went wrong?
They just... Oh, that's so funny. That could have been really bad. Thank goodness they have helmets on, right, guys?
So I guess the moral of the story is that maybe the airplane wings do work better than the actual...
Maybe more gliding method.
Yeah. That was heinous.
Oh, yeah. Mega Mike TV saying that was unbelievable. You beat me to it. Oh, dear.
Nice.
Buzzed right into the ground right there. There's only one to go, though.
One to go.
This is it. I mean, this is it. And this is, and I've talked to these. I love this entry because it's every part of Minnesota, all the pop culture, essential Minnesota iconic figures of our past. And like we've got Prince up here. You've got Bob Dylan on this craft. You've got Jesse the Body Ventura is on this craft. You've got Ric Flair, Nature Boy is up here, and it's all the Minnesota their favorite celebrities in one aircraft.
I didn't know Ric Flair was from here.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, what's his thing again?
Nature Boy. Woo!
Thank you.
Yeah, just like that. I think it was like.
I used to play it on the, video games.
I know what you mean. This is going to be epic. And I talk the guy that's the pilot is from China.
Oh.
So he flew in from China.
Ni hao ma.
He's a Minnesotan who's been working over in China for like the last several years, and he flew back for this event just specifically to be the pilot of this craft. And again,
wow,
that's commitment.
Anyway, these guys apparently have an incredibly high creativity score, so their craft is already way ahead in terms of points.
Oh, that's
so these
a
guys
good
go
difference.
the distance.
Yeah,
they could actually take out the day with that. So they're already going in with a massive head start there, which is super exciting considering they are the last of the day.
And they were again back here in 2010 when it first was here, and they finished second place.
So they know what they're doing.
To that team that had the world record.
Oh, this will be great to watch then.
Yeah, this could be a really good way to end this whole party.
What's so exciting is that we can see them lining up the podium already. So we mean business. We need a first, second, and third place today. Their inspiration for their vessel is redemption. They want to redeem themselves.
There it is. They felt like I talked to the one fellow. He thought that they had an unbelievable ride back in 2010, but that group of aeronautical
they broke the
geniuses.
World record. Yeah.
What do you do?
I tell you what you do. You wait until there's a team where only 65 feet or so is the winner, and then you come in with the last placement, and you just beat the game.
Right. So redemption or not, we'll soon see. But they're about to launch this skit and then launch the aircraft.
I'm excited. Look at that.
I'm rooting for them.
It seems there's a trend of when they're successful, this shape that they've got going on.
I can't talk through. Oh, that's right. You're right. There's Ric Flair. I was like, that's a lot of white thigh happening on the screen.
Yeah, there's a Harmon Killebrew in there. He was a former Minnesota Twins great. I think there's a Minnesota Viking in there as well.
Of course, which is the NFL team, which I also discovered today. Oh, look at that guitar solo. This is the final team for today's Fluke Tag.
And we should mention the actual aircraft is made of the cherry and the spoon. And there's the cherry, you see it there coming off. It's actually a beach ball. I asked them what it was.
Oh, yeah.
And the cherry and the spoon is an iconic statue that is in Minneapolis. So everybody knows the cherry and the spoon here in the Twin Cities. So here we go.
Not everybody.
Well, in the Twin Cities.
All right, here we go. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, guys!
Oh, wow, that was amazing.
Oh, fantastic. That actually could be the winner. They already had bonus points from their creativity. The team's so thrilled about that one.
Live.
I think we have redemption. We'll have to wait and see how
Jump
these,
on in,
yes.
bonus points from us here.
Yeah.
There's just the white thighs, they're just glowing. It's like they've never seen sun before. That itself is quite exciting. Don't zoom in that close, my man. He's so stoked. He's foaming at the mouth. He's so happy. Let's watch that replay again. Just cycling on
just
into it.
Coasting down.
Nice.
A beautiful detachment there as well.
Full leg extension, too, to get a couple extra inches there at the end.
And they do matter in this. And he just got squashed. 54 feet. Is that the best of the day?
I don't think it's the farthest.
We're going to have to wait and find out to see if Spooner's Revenge is going to be the team's winner. The winning team for the day. No! Oh! What a sight!
Wow.
I was like, oh, ones. Are they crazy? Did they not see what went down?
I
That's
love
so
the
great.
choreographed name or the number drop there.
Well
That is
played.
a perfect score. 10s across the board there. They have to be the winning team with that one. That is the highest score. The creativity was out there. 54 feet as well. Wow, you guys. Spooner's Revenge. Way to get your revenge. 9 years they waited to get there.
Redemption!
I think the event organizers knew that it might be a good thing to have these folks go last, because what a way to end this, what was such an amazing event today.
They saved the best for last for sure. Look, the judges are deliberating. It is not a sure thing that Spooner's Revenge are in the lead. We did have it out there, though, for you to vote for your favorite at redbullflugtag.com. So we're going to find out the winner right now. Infinity Wing took out the People's Choice Awards. Is it because they love men in white and tight spandex? Probably.
And they're from Kentucky. They did great.
They were like the second team of the day, I believe.
Yeah, they
were
were.
right off the top there.
Right?
Oh, it's an Avengers outfit. Oh, they saved the day, went back in time. I don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen it, actually, my bad. I'll zoom. But there you have it. People's Choice winner right there, Infinity Wing.
There's some people that still haven't seen it.
You know what's interesting about Infinity Wings is they made that craft as a community.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it wasn't just their team. It was like the whole community did something to put it in. And so it's cool that they won.
Oh, that is so great.
Coming away with hardware, right?
And
like
there's a cool prize about that one as well, which I'm a big fan of. I'll tell you what, yeah, Twitch had a little vote as well, who they think should have won. They thought Flying POS should have won. That's where my vote went all day long.
All day long. You were all about the POS. And
I've been sitting on that one all day.
I know. And they really did perform today. I could easily see them at least on the podium, if not winning this whole shooting match.
I feel like without winning the People's Choice Awards, it's just an opportunity that was flushed, you know?
You got it.
Can't
One
stop,
more.
won't stop.
I just
I know.
I just have a feeling there's going to be one more before we're
How
all
do you
said
get
and done.
porcelain in? How do you?
Oh my
Oh, mind
goodness.
you, I will say that, do you know what Australian for poop is? If it's a really bad one, especially if you've been drinking a lot, it's a bog.
A bog?
Yes.
But you said that white trash is bogan.
Yes.
Is what you said earlier.
So I guess half of a bogan is a bog.
There you go. All right.
And
Who
if
knew?
you drink and then the next day you go, it's an after grog bog. But then anyway, that's just me teaching you how classy Australians are, really.
Folks are excited about this event. You still see so many people smiling, and I think that's what this whole thing is about. It's just a joyous event. It is so much fun to be out here, and especially to see it in person like this. It's just such a treat to see the time and the commitment and the excellence that was put into some of these crafts, and then to just go out and just send it and just hope for the best.
It really is like an all-day festival here. It's got the same amount of people that attend than a giant music festival as well. But I'm talking, there's like all the foods are set up, all the tents are out there. It's packed full of people right here. But we're about to find out the winners. The judges seem to be deliberating a while. I wonder if that's a good sign or.
I think there's a lot to think about. There's a lot to ingest.
There's a
right?
complicated maths equation, actually.
But that's part of it too, and obviously it depends how good you are at math.
Someone's there punching into a calculator just trying to figure that one out. But here's the crowd at the moment. Look at that kid. Look at him dancing. That guy looks like he's trying to do the maths at the moment on the left. He's trying to crunch some numbers. Be nice, Maud. Yeah, everyone's having fun.
There's your POS.
Scores are in right now. In third place, it is the Flying POS. Of course, they get the bronze title. That's not bad, though. Second place coming up right now. It is Ferris Bueller Takes Off, getting the silver.
That was a great ride. Wow.
And they were the last of the day, but they are the victors of the Flugtag 2019. It is Spooner's Revenge, coming second back in 2010, but now taking out the gold. What do you guys think about the top three there? I'm a little bit disappointed that Flying POS didn't take out the gold, but bronze is good for me. What do you guys think? What do you think?
I think anytime you can get POS on the podium, that's a good thing.
It's a good position to be in.
And a bronze turd is a good thing, right? I mean, third place is nothing to be ashamed of. Third out of 38, but if you think about it, with the hundreds and hundreds of entries that came in just to be part of this, you're third in the whole world in 2019 Red Bull Flugtag.
You can polish that turd for sure, being bronze. If you do like what you watched, though, or what you saw, you can watch us for Soapbox, which is taking place in Dallas. And that's like the coolest go-karting you've ever seen. So picture, instead of flying, you get the speed on the ground going. He's checking out what Soapbox is all about. Usually September 28th, that one's going to be happening. If you haven't actually followed us on Twitch at the moment, make sure you do it now so you don't miss any of the spills or the thrills or the 19 inches of height that kart got. Woohoo! I've actually never made a kart, and I've always... Whoa! Ooh. I've always wanted to after Rugrats. No, what was it? The Little Rascals.
Little Rascals. That's exactly it. Soapbox.
That's what I would want to do out of all of those things. I don't think I can do it. All right, though, let's just, before we go, what are your final thoughts on the entire day? The spills, the thrills, the height. I know, Ivy, are we going to see you get in the pond?
I am actually terrified of that pond and the jump, so maybe not.
What with the MISSISSIPPI?
Can you do it a little faster?
Yes, I can. MISSISSIPPI?
That's impressive for
an
an
Australian.
Australian.
My brother and I used to do, actually, as a game when we were kids. But anyway, Ivy, favorite craft?
Favorite craft? Ferris Bueller.
It was a good one.
It was a great one. I really liked it.
The Rari.
The Rari.
It did get second place in there as well.
I'm going DeLorean. It crashed and burned, but it was good to see a little Back to the Future action out here. We saw a lot of great movie themes. We saw some Game of Thrones. We saw some great television themes as well, and a lot of kind of Minnesota flavored
big time.
themes.
The Lumberjacks, a Blue Ox. I learned so much about this gorgeous, gorgeous town, and that's all thanks to you, Eric. Thank you so much for helping me out with today's event.
Absolutely, Maud. It's my pleasure.
Where can people check you out if they want to follow you along with your adventures?
At Perk at Play on just about all social media platforms. PERKATPLAY. I didn't say that. MASSIPP.
Perk at Play.
Ivy, what about you if people want to explore you and also watch Ivy Being Ivy?
Ivus on Instagram, and then, Red Bull Surfing, YouTube, Ivy Being Ivy. Ivy.
I'm at Maud Garrett on all things fun. Guys, thank you so much for joining us for this full day event with the Red Bull Flugtag. We're going to be back doing so much more great things later in the month. Make sure you do follow us. Thank you for being legends in the chat today. Okay, now we're back because why end? We love this event.
I'm making sure stuff doesn't get wet over here. We're still getting rained on, by the way.
We are getting rained on at the moment because we just couldn't say goodbye yet, could we?